2, 1, and we're live! Welcome back to the INVICTUS stream. My name, as always, is Harlan Guthrie, and I am here with the delightful David, the counted Chris, the judgmental Justin.
I don't like the way you said that.
And we are here with the official Game 1 of our Star Wars Age of Rebellion campaign. Chris, play us our tune! Dave, show us your holdout blaster because I blew past it too quick. Hells yeah!
Yeah, holdout blaster.
I broke it. I gotta do my drop. Ready?
Oh.
Broken.
We are so excited to be here this Wednesday night. It has been such a fantastic and fun and exciting week, and thank you all for being here with us, guys. As always, it's great to get around the table with some friends, and you guys are our friends. And if there was an aw sound effect, that's where I would play the aw sound effect. So, yes, as I mentioned, this is Star Wars Age of Rebellion Game 1, officially Episode 1, Part 1. So this is the beginning. Last week was a bit of a kind of a prologue to what's going to be happening over the next 6 weeks. So welcome. I do want to remind you that if you're watching this video, you gotta go ahead and like it on YouTube for us. You know, that tube that does the oops, because it helps us and it makes us feel special. Chris, what does it make you want to do every time you see one of those likes?
Whenever I see one of those likes, I allow myself to eat a meal, and if I don't see it, I starve.
It's true. I've seen him. It's disgusting. It's horrible. I can see his ribs. So don't kill Chris. Don't make him starve. Go ahead.
Hunger strike.
Hunger strike. Go ahead and like our YouTube video and follow us on Twitter. We do a lot of really cool tweets. Sometimes we tweet pictures of things that we find funny. Sometimes we tweet to other people who like to tweet as well. Sometimes I tweet pictures of my penis. So there's a lot of reason to do it. So go ahead and follow us on Twitter. Also, and most importantly, I'm assuming everybody watching right now is following along on Facebook because that's where all the cool people are at. If you are not part of our Facebook group, you got to get your ass over there this second and join because that's where all the fun conversations happen. This week, Justin, tell us just about some of the conversations we had this week on the Facebook group.
Well, you know, it's been a really great immersive week. We've had some members of the Invictus division who have been posting little vignettes of their characters that kind of say how they are preparing leading up to the first mission that we're going to run over in just a bit. And I gotta say that everybody who posted a little vignette on Facebook, they did a really good job. There wasn't one that I didn't like. Everyone did a great job getting into the world, and nobody stepped on my toes either and changed the story in a way that I couldn't run with. So,
but you probably should have, because sometimes it's good to throw Justin a curveball, you know, make him duck and weave.
No, keep it the way you've been doing it, guys.
But you guys did do a great job, and this week was filled with a lot of fantastic posts on Facebook. And because of that, as a lot of you longtime viewers will know, we award the most valuable post during campaign season, which is what we call it, when we're running long play games. This campaign obviously is starting today, therefore we are going to be awarding the most valuable post. However, there's a bit of a twist this time. So, without further ado, the drum roll, please. Most valuable post goes to Yannick, Chris, Bob, Matthew, Dustin, and Joseph. That's right. Everybody who posted their character's backstory, well, we all decide, we put our heads together and we decide, you know what, you guys are going that extra mile. You are making your characters come to life, which then in turn makes the reality we're trying to create come to life, or the fictitious reality. Does that even make sense? The fantasy we're trying to make come to life. It fleshes out all those really fantastic parts of this universe. So thank you guys so much. Each of you, gets most valuable post this week. That's right. That means you get a little extra XP to squeeze on your XP potato chips. Yeah, that's right. So well done, guys. You did a fantastic job. And again, adding those little backstories makes the next part so much more exciting. I am going to throw it now to our GM, Justin the Man James. That's his middle name. The Man. It's one word. It's actually French. It's T-Man. He's how it's pronounced, but we go with the Man. Timon. For the mission breakdown. Now, you guys who are following along in the Facebook group, and those of you who aren't, you should be, because it's awesome. You were made aware of a mission this week, and you were allowed to spend a certain amount of XP to help influence that mission. So some of you purchased ranks within the rebellion. Some of you purchased additional boosts after purchasing those ranks to help influence the mission. So what we're going to do is we're going to throw over to Justin right now to find out how that mission succeeded, and if you put a little bit extra in, what you're going to get back. So, Justin, over to Mission Central Command. Take it away.
Mission Central Command in mission number 1. Okay, guys, we had some great responses this week. A lot of people spending experience points to influence the mission, which I love. The first mission is called Operation Grain Snatch. And for those of you who haven't read the mission on Facebook, I'm going to read it over now. So, last week you received an encrypted message from the Rebel Command. And it read, Overlord Gorin of Pluriod 4 has offered a large supply of grain to the rebellion. Though the rebels are in dire need of food at this time, we are skeptical of Gorin's intentions based on his reputation. The freight ship Halifax, containing the grain, will be departing Pluriod 4 soon. As you are currently en route to establish yourselves in the Dusk system, you are in a prime position to intercept the cargo. Your first mission, as the Invictus Division, is to dispatch your squadron and intercept the shipment. Have your scientists run the required tests to determine the integrity of the grain, then report your findings back to us and await further instruction.
I don't have another sound effect, and I don't have my little thing that Chris had, so I'll just do applause instead.
Hey, applause works. Okay, so
sorry.
Let's change the tone. That's not exactly the tone I'm looking for. So pretty much what's going to happen here, guys, the way we're going to do this is we're going to roll 5 times, okay? The first 4 rolls are going to be one dedicated to each of the different disciplines. So we've got 4 disciplines within the Invictus Division. We have the Intelligence Discipline, Invictus Squadron, Bureaucratic Discipline, and Ground Forces, all right? And each one of those disciplines was assigned with a task. So we're going to see whether or not those tasks in the mission that I just described are successful, all right?
Or if they failed and fell to the clutches of the Empire.
All right, so the first roll, do you guys have Roll20 open or access to D100s? I'm going to get you guys to roll.
Yeah, we do. Sure, I can do the first.
You do the first, Harlan.
All right.
So,
All right, here we go.
All right, here we go.
Go
The
ahead.
first task is for the Intelligence Discipline. And your task was to track and monitor the freight ship Halifax's movements. All right? So, what we're doing is, what happened during the week is a number of people spent experience points to influence, and actually we had some new joiners to intelligence. Just a couple days ago, we only had a 3 base influence value, but now we have 13. So there are 13 points that are going to be added to this roll, and we're trying to beat a 20.
Okay.
All right.
Here we go.
Beat a 20.
Oh. 48. I'm going to say that's a big old success.
That is a success. The intelligence discipline is successful. So if you're a member of the intelligence team, congratulations, you did your duty. So
I am a member of the intelligence team.
After entering the coordinates provided by High Command, your intelligence team easily tracks down the Halifax and brings your command ship to within medium range of the freight ship. All right, so this is going to make it much easier for Invictus Squadron to complete their task.
Thank you.
Right? Or
Well done, intelligence. Well done.
Yes.
All right. Now, before we roll, we did have a couple people this week spend experience points to specifically aid in this mission. So they recognized, hey, you know what? We're the Invictus Squadron. We have a really important role this time. We need to pull up our socks and really make sure that we succeed. So I'm going to do a shout out to Captain Viseau and Ido and Nil. Captain Viseau is the captain of the Invictus Squadron, and Ido and Nil are two support hands who are basically at the bottom of the rank tier system, but they are working hard to hopefully get a promotion.
We've all been there. We've all been there.
We've all been there scrubbing the poop deck.
When I first started with the Invictus stream, I just went around and rearranged the room behind Harlan.
It's
now
true.
he lets me in my own room.
And David doesn't even get anything in his backdrop yet. He hasn't earned the right to hold pictures in his backdrop.
Just an orangey wall.
An orangey wall.
Level
Oh,
1.
God.
Level 1 Invictus.
The orange wall.
All right, so as another reward for spending additional experience for this mission specifically, I am rewarding you guys with a bit of a narrative, a bit of a vignette for your characters. So here it is. Captain Viseau. The siren is going off for everybody to get into their ships and take flight, and you climb up the ladder and step into your X-Wing. And you begin pressing all of the buttons and pulling all the levers that you need to make the X-Wing.
Until you find the right one. I have never been trained on this.
No, Captain Viseau, he knows what he's doing. I just don't know the terminology. And his tracking computer, he is about to just leave it because it hasn't been working, but he realizes that there's a sticky note on it. Yes, there are sticky notes in the Star Wars universe.
Oh yeah, they are.
And finding it odd, he picks it up and he reads it. And it says, "Dear Captain, we noticed your targeting computer was on the fritz, so we took the liberty of fixing it for you. Hope you don't mind. It should work like a charm now. Good luck out there. Ido and Nil." And with that, you shake your head, knowing full well that they don't have authorization to be working in the cockpit of
Write
your
them up.
X-Wing. But you put on your tracking helmet, and sure enough, it is working, unlike it was before. So you take off and exit the hangar.
Well done, Captain.
So, now we get to roll. Chris, would you like to do this roll for us?
I would love to. Percentile,
Okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that doesn't show. Let me do a new one. Let me change. Hold on a second.
Hold up. Before you roll,
I can't drum roll sometimes.
before you roll,
Yeah.
we're going to add 15 to this roll.
We're roll
on
happy.
Their base influence and the added influence from Captain Viseau and Ido and Nil. So, let's see the roll.
All right, hold on. Let me get the. Okay, never mind.
Sorry. Roll happy. So, a total of 67.
67. So, the Invictus Squadron is successful.
Yes!
Led by Captain Viseau, your squadron.
That was a delayed sound effect.
Led by Captain Viseau, your squadron descends upon the freight ship from an unexpected angle, taking it by surprise and giving your command ship time to negotiate a peaceful boarding of the ship. All right, moving on. Going to bureaucracy, which, by the way, I did not know how to spell until this week.
Spell it for us.
Bureaucracy. B-U-R-E-A-U-C-R-A-C-Y.
I don't know. Was it right?
That's right.
That's right. I'm pretty sure that's right. I spelt it the first time B-E-A-U-R-O-C-R-A-C-Y.
We just add letters because they should.
Boom. bureaucracy.
FETTWXTT.
Yeah, I threw an exclamation mark in there. Anyways, this is the bureaucracy rule. And we've got Commander Trask is a very skilled diplomat. And I'm letting Commander Trask do something very special just for the commander role, that he is allowed to set aside. He is allowed to set aside experience points, and if it's close to success, he can push it above. So that's something that's special to the commander. So let's do the roll. David.
Percentile?
It is a
Just the one that says percentile, yeah.
And actually, I'm going to read. Hold on. Hold your horses.
Fuck's sake!
Jesus, I will give you the cue.
Ugh.
Jesus. I won't use the Lord's name in vain. So the task is to successfully negotiate a boarding of the Halifax. If Goran is to be trusted, he will have nothing to hide. So, David, you can go ahead and roll. You are adding +7 to your roll. You're trying to beat a 30.
What?
That's it.
Right? Did it work?
Not yet. Use
No. Oh, shit!
Don't use the Star Wars ones. They don't
My
show up.
brother's hands are getting tired.
Percentile. Yeah?
Wong.
Okay.
Is that good or bad? Did he fail? Are we cheering?
You just barely got it. With
Oh.
the added 7 of base influence of the number of people that are in communications and diplomacy and bureaucracy, that succeeds. You got a 31.
Alright.
So, to a member of...
Hair dryer?
That's his holdout blaster!
That's a holdout blaster. Hair dryer. Come on, Chris. Where's your
Oh,
imagination?
sorry.
Ooh, it kind of reflects in the light, too. It's sexy.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like that.
So I know everybody in the bureaucracy department is dying with bated breath to hear how he succeeded. So your commander peacefully
Like
negotiates
chum.
safe passage onto the ship. You can't help but feel uneasy, though, as you hear your commander speak with the leading officer of the other ship. There's something sly in the other officer's voice. All right, last but not least, we're moving on to ground forces, whose task was to board the freight ship and have their medics check the grain integrity. So, Harlan,
Are these whole grains?
The integrity of this brain isn't unreal! Alright.
Okay, we're adding +7. We are trying to beat 35, and we did have someone spend. No, we didn't. Never mind. We didn't have anybody spend experience points. 7 to 35. That's what we're trying to beat. Go ahead and roll.
Oh.
You got it.
Oh, it's pretty close, so right on the money.
Right on the money. Every single task.
I'm right on the money.
Every single task was successful. Which means that, ground forces, you board the ship successfully and begin making your way to the cargo hold. All right. So now we're going to go on to the 5th roll. This is the last roll for the community mission. But before we do, I have a little
I think it's loaded, Harlan.
wrench in the work. Hey, stay focused, Chris. Stay
Sorry.
focused. I'm in the middle of something here, all
Sorry.
right?
I'll just do this.
So, as the ground forces make their way to the cargo hold, they find themselves in the middle of an ambush. Immediately, they take what cover they can find and return fire as the crew members of the Halifax are shooting at them with all of their blasters. So, our ground forces find themselves in a bit of a pickle. But because everybody succeeded on their roles, this is going to be very easy for them to succeed at this task. They're in a very good position to succeed at the mission completely. So, David, why don't you do the last roll?
Oh, man. Okay.
Typical Halifax.
And we are trying to beat 101.
101.
101, and we are adding a certain amount of points. 10 points for the intelligence, 40 points for Invictus Squadron success, 20 points for bureaucracy success, and 30 points for ground forces.
So you need 11 or above.
11. Hey, that's not
no,
fair.
no, you actually need anything but a 1.
Oh,
I
man.
just mathed it out. I just added it together. You said 90,
10,
10, 30, and something else. It came out to 90.
20, and 30.
Okay.
All right, let's see what happens here.
You gotta beat a 1.
Eh. Oh, man. Finally.
Invictus Division, you are successful on mission number 1. And this is your success spiel. After an intense few moments, the enemy forces are vanquished. The bridge is easily secured, and all crew taken prisoners, while the medics are free to inspect the quality of the grain being sent to feed the fleeing rebels. Based on how the crew retaliated when you boarded the ship, you aren't surprised to find that the grain has been poisoned. Oh.
Stupid Halifax.
Stupid Halifax. So, you relay this information back to your commander, who contacts High Command. And this is their reply. Well done, Invictus. Kian Farlander from Red Squadron is on his way with shuttles to take the grain. Though we won't be feeding it to our own troops, we still have a use for it. Continue on your way to Ebra, and report to us once you have reached the planet's surface. Once again, thank you for your duty, and well done, Invictus. Rebel Command out.
Well done, guys.
So last but not least, thank you very much, guys. You did great. Chris, I'm going to have you do one last roll.
Ooh.
And this is the amount of experience points.
Oh, this is big.
Yes, this is big.
Oh, fuck it
I know.
up.
I just want to do right by the Invictus stream. Let's do this.
Everybody get him if he screws it up.
We had 2 people, two community members spend experience points. So we are going to do 1d6 plus 2. All right?
Okay. 1d6 plus 2. Here goes nothing. Hang on to your something. It's pretty good.
All right. That's
Not bad.
bad.
Not bad.
This could be
So
worse.
every single member of the Invictus Division is going to get 5 experience points today.
What? That's more than I get.
Mm-hmm.
It's more than I get paid at the Invictus stream.
Yep.
I can't feed my kids with my measly 1 XP a week. I need that.
Where are you
good
going to
5.
spend that? It's in the taxes, then they take away half anyways.
Yeah, then I get and then the Canadian dollar is so low right now. By the time I trade it in, we're talking cents on the XP.
All right, guys. So congratulations. Once again, every member is going to get 5 experience points. And without further ado, that is the end of Mission 1, Operation Grain Snatch. Good job.
Yeah.
I thought you said Operation Granny Snatch.
It was just gross.
Well, no, I meant more like you grabbed an older person, not like an old person of your age. So, excellent. Well done, Justin. Again, thank you guys all for being here tonight. I hope you watched that. If you haven't, go back and check it out because that's the important stuff. Tomorrow, Justin is going to be posting Mission 2. So now you understand the importance of spending experience points to help influence those missions because they're going to come back and reward you in a good way. Not to mention, if things go south, your characters might die. Thank you again for everybody here following along. We got some good content already flowing out. I know it's funny. I appreciate Aisha tearing herself away from Fallout. I got the Pip-Boy edition delivered today, which is why the stream almost started late because I was playing. And I gotta say, it is pretty pretty fantastic game. We obviously at the Invictus Stream love all forms of gaming, whether they be video or tabletop or
Table tennis.
Table tennis.
or
That was
table tennis. Yeah,
that
that's,
was
how do you play table tennis? Because that's how I play table tennis.
all in the wrist.
It's not in the wrist, it's table tennis. you know?
Mesmerize the opponents.
And we have been psyching ourselves up. I know I have been watching Star Trek The Next Generation. I know it's not Star Wars, but I've been watching it nonstop to get behind the mentality of space. David, my man here, has been watching the films, but not just the films. He's been watching them in the machete order. Is that correct, David?
Yeah, best way.
Why is that the best way?
Because you don't have to watch one.
that's the best answer.
That's pretty much accurate. I think it all comes down to how terrible one is and how boring Anakin is. Although we've had lots of conversation on the stream about which one that one is good. Some people liked it, so.
No, I like. I mean,
there's
elements that are good.
I think it is a series that might grow to being good. So.
Yeah, Jar Jar was really building.
Have you heard the Darth Jar Jar theory?
No.
Yeah, I saw something about it.
Anyone hasn't heard it? After the stream, go Google the Darth Jar Jar theory. It's quite funny, and it's saying that Jar Jar Binks is actually a Sith Lord. But they substantiate it. They're being like, wow, his moves are actually like Jedi moves, because when you think about it, pretty awesome. Anyway,
That's true.
so thank you all for being here. We are going to launch directly into this awesome campaign with my man Justin. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Star Wars Episode 1, Part 1.
All right. So, we ended last week with the three of you driving very quickly in your land speeder towards Baric. Baric is the capital city of Ebra, the only real human settlement, other than the outpost, on the planet of Ebra, colony. And you guys are hastily making your way there, and the sun is going down. Can you guys fill in the viewers on what happened in the prologue that made you guys want to get to Baric so quickly?
Yeah, so basically, we were out patrolling, as the three of us do. We are part of the City Watch in our hometown. So we were out scouting and doing that type of thing. When we came across some Arabians?
Ebranites.
Ebranites, sorry. Some Ebranites, and they were having a scuffle, and it looked like they were fighting over something potent. So we decided to wait it out until most of them cleared, and afterwards we got attacked by one, which we dismantled pretty quickly. We each did a good blow, and I think I finished it off with my sniper rifle. Did we ever go down to find out what they were fighting over?
No, well, we did. We did go down, and there was nothing left, wasn't it?
No.
I don't think we ever went down.
No.
So far, bad start, because
Screw
we
that.
totally missed the thing that we were fighting about. Anyway, we went to an outpost where we ran into, we were contacted by Tal's uncle, who asked us to meet him on his ship. The name of the ship was, of course, the
Ship. Are we coming
Justin?
up with this now, Justin?
No, I don't know what was the name of it.
Oh, it is the Lancer.
I thought you named it. Okay, the Lancer, where he then told us that the potion that we took off, the vial that we took off of the dead Ebranite. Is it Ebranite again? Yeah, Ebranite.
Yeah.
The dead Ebranite had very powerful properties, and that
New
it could,
ramen.
yes, that it could be used to heal people. And I think I tried it myself, but it turned out to be sour. It needed an extra element that a creature that was also on the ship helped us find. And basically, he told us a backstory of how this blue ramen is sought after, and there's a very powerful crystal in the caves of some sort. This blue ramen.
Blue ramen.
Right? No, it's blue ramen. It's these dry noodles. They're blue. Anyway, he told us that there's this immense power, the blue ramen, that is highly sought after, and he fears that in the wrong hands it could do bad. So he wants it for the rebellion, whereas I think myself, and I think Crichton took my point of view as well, that rather the thing be destroyed than fall into the Empire or the rebellion. Rather, it seems that power absolutely corrupts type thing. At that point, he left, and we waited a week for some reason in that town, and the Empire flew overhead. I think that's roughly it. Did I miss anything important?
I found out how my father died.
That's right.
Yeah.
But we didn't.
Well,
Our characters did.
No, it was Ebernites or something like that.
Well,
Yeah.
I know we were rushing back to Baric to get there because we saw this ship flying over. It's kind of what we were ending it as. So we kind of knew.
Heard it was a TIE. Well, I guess we didn't know it was a TIE fighter, but we heard on a TIE fighter.
You've heard of TIE fighters before. You know.
Well, we
them.
recognize the sound. They're like,
Tal-
hey, it's a B-52 engine.
Well, more so Tal would know so much about the TIE fighters because he's just
That's
a big
true.
super ship nerd.
Yep.
Ship nerd.
Ship
All right,
nerd.
so that's
Ship
pretty
nerd.
much. Unless I forget something, Justin, you can correct it. But I think that's roughly it.
Yeah, I'll just say, Tal, your father went missing.
Oh, okay. I thought he died.
Well, that's your uncle very well believes that he is dead.
As well as do I. Okay.
Yes, it's pretty much general knowledge. He's been missing for years,
Okay.
and he knows that the Ebranites had something to do with it.
Okay. Cool.
All right, so you guys are in your speeder. Are you still speeding back to Baric?
Yeah, and as we hear it, I go to Tal and I say, what did that sound like? I don't recognize that ship sound. As I'm out the back, making sure no one's tailing us for whatever reason.
Oh, sorry. Who did you say that to?
Tal,
Tal. I thought so.
Okay. Say what?
Tal,
Sorry.
wake up. You recognize that sound?
Yeah. I think that's an Imperial ship. Let's go check it out.
Imperial. Heading
What do you
towards Baric?
Yeah. I say we get into the speeder and get to my uncle as soon as possible.
Well, we're in the speeder, and we're leaving your uncle. Going back to Baric. What's with you, man? Stop dating me.
Sorry.
I used to bullseye swamp rats in my T-52. We need to get on board.
By the Emperor's dark bones. We keep driving on. Let's hope that it's
Someone
never
pick this
good.
up.
I didn't think the Empire would come to Baric. Especially not this soon. Let's get there. There's people I care about in that town.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. Okay.
Hold on, but the Empire doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. If it's an Imperial ship, doesn't mean they're here to hurt.
Yeah, I know, but from everything I've heard about it, they're not up to no good.
Yeah, and I trust my uncle. I think that there's something going on here. I think we need to go there and help out his cause.
Well, if we're serious about the possibility, and I'm saying this as we're bumping along, obviously, to add tension to the moment. If we're serious about thinking that they might not be here for fair reasons, maybe we should be smarter about this. Stop off on the edge of town, take a look, make sure we're not walking into some sort of altercation.
For sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Now, I mentioned in the prologue, Baric is a good distance away from the outpost. And you guys, the outpost is south of Baric, and you guys were about 2 hours even south further of the outpost. So it's about a 7-hour ride to the outpost. Now you guys are to Baric. Now you guys are used to long speeder rides. You've done them hundreds of times before in the past few years. And it doesn't really phase you much. Do you guys want to be going at the regular driving speed, or are you trying to rush to get there at a certain time?
Will there be
7
a bigger
hours.
risk?
Well, 7 hours from now, and it's going to be about 2 o'clock using Earth times.
But what I mean to say, if we're rushing, is there more risk to driving or anything like that?
Of course, yes, definitely. It is a very, very difficult landscape. You're driving between large cliffs and giant red rocks, and the road isn't very well maintained or even finished. There's only a few places where it's a long stretch before you get to more mountainous region.
Well, the Invictus, our group, our scouting group, already drives pushing the boundaries because we are that type of patrolling group that we do enjoy going fast, especially with Tal behind the wheel.
You mean the three of us?
Yeah. So that being said, I think with the ominous ship going towards Baric, it would just push us over the edge to a little bit unsafe level, like going, we're pushing the boundaries. I think so. We will push it a little bit.
So Creighton, you're saying this to Tal. You're saying, hey.
I think no, I don't think I would say this. I think Tal. I mean, I shouldn't speak for Tal, but I think as a group, we're a little risky already. So I think this ominous thing, I'd say, Tal, come on, let's get lead on. Let's get going.
Yeah. No, and I'm after hearing all the things about my father and knowing that my uncle is there, correct? We went over this last week.
Your uncle did go to Baric.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to want to get there as soon as possible. So I will use my my piloting skills, I guess. Is that a skill check then, or?
That is.
Okay.
So your piloting skill is planetary piloting. You've got 2 ranks in it.
Yeah.
So the way we're going to do this, I'm going to make it an average difficulty. Okay.
Okay.
And what is your agility is 3, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So that means that 2, you're going to be rolling 3 green die, but 2 of those green die, are upgraded to yellows. So we've got 2 yellow die and 1 green die.
Purples.
Because it is getting dark, I'm going to give you a setback die. It's a little bit confusing with all of the shadows being cast on the rocks from the low sun on the horizon, and the shadows are kind of playing tricks on you. So you've got 1 green, 2 yellow, 1 black, and 2 purple.
So, and I just put that into the...
That's right.
All right.
Oh.
Who's rolling?
Oh, that's Chris. That's Chris.
Oh, sorry, I'm just using it so I have reference for later.
It's like, that is not what I told you.
Okay. So 2 yellow. Right. Sorry.
And actually, this is...
I'm scanning the horizon just to make sure there's
There's no one coming. This is a good opportunity, actually, to go over a couple of things. Okay, so I see that David's just rolled, and it is a success.
Hey, good roll.
Nice.
It is a success, so that's going to shave off some time of the trip.
Okay.
But I do want to take this opportunity, if we can just pause the action. There are 2 things that you do at the beginning of any Star Wars RPG game and adventure. And the first thing is to roll for duty. Now, duty is it's a special concept that they use for the Age of Rebellion, that each of these characters has a specific duty that they think is the most important thing to help with the rebellion. So you guys remember what they are for each of your characters?
Yeah, poop, isn't it?
It is poop. It is poop for all of you. Everybody
support. I got 5, and David's got 10, I think. So we run a roll under 20 or something?
Yeah, so somebody roll a 1d100.
I'm on it, and I did it. 53.
All right, so you don't get under 20, so that means that there is no duty involved for this game. Okay. As the players do finish missions for the rebellion, their duty level is going to increase. All right, and then it's going to be easier and easier for them to get under that number. So the second thing I want you guys to do is, all right, I'm going to resolve this roll, and then we're going to do another roll. Okay. So, Tal, not only do you manage to successfully navigate your way through a complex canyon system, but you also get 3 advantages.
Yeah.
Which means that the last time you get an idea. You get an idea on the land speeder. It's handling a little wonky, and you think if you tweak the manifold on the central engine system, that you would be able to improve the maneuvering and steering capacity by bypassing some of the hydraulic pneumatics of the workaround fluctuations. So
add more words in it. I'm sure it'll make sense. And also hypothesis and hypotenuse and hippopotamus.
Hippopotamus. Yeah, I like it. Okay, so basically, the next time you do a mechanics roll on your ship to modify it, you're going to be increasing any drive roll for that ship. Like a boost. Okay. So your land speeder now has 1 extra boost whenever you do drive rolls or pilot rolls.
Okay. Awesome.
If you do the mechanics check. Perfect. So now the next thing I want you guys to do is you see there are these white die in the top right.
Yes.
These are called force die. I want all three of you guys to roll the force die, and we'll see what comes up.
I rolled 2 whites.
Okay.
Chris rolled a black. And David's not rolling.
David rolled black.
Yeah, I rolled black.
Roll the black. Okay, perfect. So.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's not. That's weird. It's not showing up in the sidebar. Never mind.
Oh, it's not? Oh, sorry.
No, stop. David! Could you? It's okay. We're here to get messy and make a few mistakes.
All right. So that means that we have. Actually, I'm just wondering, is the force mechanics working for you guys too? In the very top, those plus and minuses.
Yes. What do you mean? I have a plus. Yeah, I do.
So those are working. You're getting little tokens.
I had one and then for some reason it disappeared.
Okay.
Oh shit! Sorry, I took it away. There you go.
Okay. So, basically, you guys, we get force points. So we're just going to do this in our heads, but there are 4 force points available at the table. 2 of them are light side, and 2 of them are dark side. So in the game, if something is happening and you guys want to give yourselves some sort of advantage, you can use a light side point and convert it into a dark side point to get that advantage. So then instead of, if you guys decided to use a light side point to increase one of your rolls, then you would get 2 would be, you would lose a light side point, sorry, and then I would have 3 dark side points. So it flips every time.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Totally.
When do we use these points?
It's hard to say without, it's hard to show you guys without actual examples.
So we can use those points to do what, Justin?
So you can use them to do a number of things. Right now, we're just going to say that you can increase or upgrade one of your rolls.
Okay.
So you can
and then if you have a certain amount of dark side points, that's bad for us.
That is bad. Yeah, it's going to be fluctuating back and forth to represent the balance in the
Back and forth.
So basically, you can use them for the same thing when you have dark side points, and we can use them for. Gotcha.
Right, exactly. So I can make one of your checks more difficult.
And we can make it better, so we can fight you with your points.
You can make your checks better. You can make one of my checks more difficult, and I can use dark side to make one of my checks more beneficial.
Okay, cool.
Very
perfect.
Cool. All right. Well, I'm gonna scan the horizon as we're riding too to make sure there's no sand people.
All right. Go ahead and do a perception check.
All right. And my perception, as all of you shall remember, is 1 green and 1 yellow. How difficult are you gonna make this? I'm assuming I'll have a black die for sure.
Yep, because you're driving, and I'm gonna make this an average difficulty once again because it is.
So 2 purple.
2 purple. Yeah.
Here we go, ladies and germs. What do we got? We got a hit and we got a disadvantage. So
all right.
Success, but disadvantage.
So, you look across the horizon and you are very confident that there is nobody tailing you, nobody following you, nothing in the sky, no sign of TIE fighters.
There's no one anywhere, guys. We're good.
No one anywhere. Unfortunately, Hal hits a bit of a bump, and your scope whacks your eye.
Ow!
Yeah. He shot his eye out.
Damn it, Tal.
And
Which part of the planet did you come from that you have a southern accent?
I didn't. That wasn't southern. Just Tal sounds southern. Damn it, Tal.
You're right.
Damn it, Tal.
Tal.
All right, so you suffer 1 strain for that.
What?
Whoa.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the disadvantage. It really hurt.
You can make strain suffering for disadvantages?
Yep.
Oh. That sucks.
Last time you checked the horizon.
Last time I checked the horizon, yeah, fuck that.
I'm about to bring my binoculars up, and I decide to put them down.
Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not
safe. We're driving way too quick to look anywhere.
Result options. Okay, so that's normally in combat. You can use disadvantage to do that. I'm using it in this situation because
fuck me. Why not?
No, Justin, I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Why not?
Thank you, Chris. Harlan, thank you for being a good sport about it.
Yeah, this is my good sport face.
Looks a lot like his I'm pissed off face.
All right, so now
No,
you
my
guys
top is this.
now you guys understand the mechanics of how threats work. All right, so you guys continue to drive, and based on how Tal is driving, you figure that you're able to shave off about 1 hour of the drive, right, for that one success. If you had got more success, that each success would have been more shaved off.
Cool.
But you get to Baric, and it's dark. It is a beautiful, clear night. The sky there's not a cloud in the sky. You can see the galaxy, a bright purple and pink illumination across the sky. And it's beautiful. And you approach Baric, and it's about 1 o'clock in the morning, 1 a.m. And most people in Baric tend to go to bed around 11 o'clock. The bar stays open until about 1 because it's very, very cold. It's very cold at night. You guys have your environmental gear, so you're fine, but it is pretty frigid outside.
I suggested Tal to take a look at his whatever this device to see if there's any residual heat from the ship
Infrared.
cooling down.
Specs. And I'll also be looking through my scope for anything I can see.
Okay, so you guys set yourselves an extreme distance away so that you can look through your scope.
Yeah, we'll say long
distance.
Yeah,
Long
since we're not... It's night for them, too, so it's not like they're going to be looking... And they're not really expecting us.
Okay.
We've been gone for a week.
Hey,
just
is that
decided to come
Crichton
out.
and...
Yeah.
Well,
Look
actually,
left.
you guys you haven't been back to Baric in about a year.
Whoa.
It's been a long time since you've been back. The outpost is very far away, and you guys are the only patrol out there. So there aren't too many options for anybody else going out and surveying the land, and it's pretty regular, it's pretty normal for it to be a year. And some of you have been better than others with keeping up with people in the town. But suffice it to say that this is your first time back in a while.
Okay, well, we're still going to lay back, I think. Well, I will.
Scan. I'm going to scan first, as per Crichton's suggestion.
I think we should all be lying prone. Everybody.
I'll stay in the speeder.
I like prone. Well, just lie prone in the speeder, okay?
Okay, I'll take a nap.
All right, so Tal, you fire up, as you see Crichton leaning back in the speeder, you fire up your scanner.
Scanning.
And looking at it, you see that, I mean, there's obviously a establishment in front of you, so there's a lot of heat registration coming from there. You do see a bit more than you would expect to see in the hangar area, which is above the city. And I drew a paint picture. It's nowhere near Alex's caliber of what he can do. But just to give you guys an idea of what Baric looks like.
Ooh, it looks like a tomato sandwich.
It looks like a tomato sandwich. You know, that's what they put on the tourism brochures.
So it's all enclosed?
Kind of. Basically, Baric was built around a big mesa. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's like a mountain where the top has been cut off, and it's just a flat plateau on top.
Neat.
Okay.
So Baric was built here because this arching part, they call this the beak. And the beak was a great place for shelter from all of the sandstorms that are native to Ebra. And the colonists figured this was a good spot just to hunker down from the start and make it their home. And eventually, they managed to burrow their way into the mesa a little bit, not too much. And eventually, they managed to continue to burrow their way on top, and they've got a good observation here. And this is where the mayor resides.
It's like a hobbit condo.
Like a hobbit condo, exactly. They built a wall around the beak, and once they had the wall up, that protected them from the elements, and they managed to strike up buildings after that point.
Very cool.
So there's a number of different places in Baric. If you guys have somewhere that you'd like to check out or somewhere that you think that should be native to Baric.
Where do ships land when they're visiting Baric?
Good question. So this door right here.
Good question, guys. He said good question.
You see this door that leads right into the mesa?
Yeah.
This leads into a long hallway. On the right-hand side, where these windows are, this is the hospital. They keep all of their sick and injured in the most defensible place in Ebra, the most secure from the elements, and the warmest. The hallway continues, and it curves around to the left, going up. And if you follow this hallway that goes to the left, it will take you to the mayor's quarters. And it'll also take you to the guard outpost, where you guys, where Crichton and Tal at least would have been staying before they moved out to the outpost, and Tark too, while he was getting his sniper training. And if you were to go to the right, this would take you up here, and yeah, I forgot to draw it on, but this is where this is the hangar. Okay. So kind of like in Mos Eisley, where the top will open up and ships can hover down into the docking bay.
And it looks like this wall has a pathway. Yep. So are there people who are touring this, like guards?
Yes. So as Tark is looking through his scope, he sees a couple of guards walking along the top. A couple of them you recognize. Young boys. A couple of young... A couple of young boys, probably 15 or 16. They seem to have grown a lot in the past year. And you also see a couple of strange-looking soldiers wearing all white.
Oh, and now we saw it was an X-wing, or sorry, a TIE fighter we saw, right?
Two TIE, but Cal identified it the sound as.
It was two, so that would only be a total of 2 men, is that right?
You've got 2 TIEs, and then you've got an Imperial shuttle.
Oh, right. What's this black thing over there in the middle?
In the middle? Oh, that's just a rock. It's a black rock.
It's a very good rock.
How tall is the wall to the flat portion? Could we scale it?
To the top?
Yeah.
It is a long to extreme distance. It would be very hard to climb it. If you had the proper tools, then you'd be able to. Unfortunately, you guys don't have climbing gear.
What about just to climb to the top of that surveying wall?
Up here?
Yeah.
You could do that. That would be a medium to long distance. I don't think you guys have a grappling hook.
We did last game.
Yeah, we did.
You did last game? Okay, then if you do have a grappling hook, I don't remember. What you can do, if you guys want to spend...
I had something I was going to grapple down. Oh, I did say 4, and he didn't say no.
That's true.
And in my role-playing experience, that means I have it.
I will give it to you this time if you spend a divinity point or a light side point. That's another use of light side points. You can use them to, like, say, oh, right, we forgot to pack underwater breathing things, but lo and behold, we actually did pack them. I just did it mindlessly.
We forgot to bring Jar Jar.
All right, are you guys done with the picture?
Well, yeah. I don't know why we'd be sneaking in. I mean, we're known here.
No,
so.
I agree.
We see unknown troopers though, or whatever it is on the wall.
But it doesn't necessarily mean danger.
How many total troopers can we estimate could be here? Do we have some sort of idea how many crew that bigger ship could have carried?
Tal, how many people would fit into the Imperial class shuttle that you saw?
Take a roll, maybe, Justin?
I would say about 50 to 60.
Okay.
So a small
total
Imperial crew.
Yeah, and the total population of Baric is roughly.
Total population is about 3,000 to 4,000, somewhere in the middle.
Okay.
So it's not an invasion. Well, 30 people can't take over the town.
Well, 30 armed people versus peasants, good.
Well, the question is, boys, what are they after? If they're after this blue ramen, then realistically...
can I make a suggestion that we hide your weapon if we're going to go in there? Because if they confiscate it...
I agree. And I start disassembling my weapon. One of the reasons I took specifically on my sheet, I researched the weapons that are slug thrower rifles. I took a very specific slug thrower rifle, the Arms Adventure with telescopic sight, because it is the only one that can be disassembled.
Nice. Now, my pike, force pike, obviously can't look like anything but a force pike, right, Justin?
Yeah, it'll look like a force pike.
Okay.
And I'll put the holdout blasters somewhere else.
You don't need to. It's a holdout blaster. That's the whole function of it, is that it's a holdout.
Yeah, you can hide holdout blasters very easily. Anybody searching you with a holdout blaster automatically gets a setback die.
I'm going to try to
Awesome.
hide the pike in the speeder somewhere so that hopefully it won't be found, like just in storage.
But at the same time, if we are scouts for Baric,
we should have some sort of...
I was going to say, if we're coming back without weapons.
People or...
Yeah, it would not be strange for you guys to have weapons.
Yeah.
But I don't want them taken.
Again, we don't know how the Empire is going to react to it.
Do we have any secondary weapons? I mean, I feel like I can't imagine.
Vibro knife. But...
1 and 2.
No, but I mean, like, I can't imagine we wouldn't have, between 3 men that are going out, we have a polearm, a sniper rifle, and a pistol.
That's pretty
Would
well
they not
armed.
have it?
What do you think?
You guys would have a knife. It wouldn't be anything that would help you too much in combat, especially against strippers. More for, like, cutting firewood or that sort of thing.
I'm just trying to justify not having my sniper rifle as if we'd be gone a year. But either way, I will disassemble it, and I will tuck various pieces into my jacket and stuff, which I'm used to. I put the barrel down my sock around the back. I put the stock here. Like, I disassemble it so it's in various pieces.
Fair enough.
And we might as well pull up. We might as well do the whole "these aren't the droids you're looking for" thing. See what happens. But none of us can do it.
Look,
yeah, let's be honest.
There's nothing wrong. The only reason I'm hiding the gun is because if for whatever reason they do, it's the only weapon that I can use.
And what about the ramen? Should we hide that too?
Yeah.
Well, get a little bit of boiled water and make a nice cup
Make
of
noodles.
Oh yeah, because is
Wear it as
gone?
hair.
Or is there some left?
Well, there's lots left.
There's lots left?
He just used a drop.
No,
Did we?
drop.
No, he made me drink the whole thing.
Oh, that's right. We don't have any left. Okay, well then we're good.
But it was like poisonous anyway, or whatever.
So we saved you?
It's poisonous unless you have access to that substance.
Which we didn't take.
Tuck put in. No.
Okay.
All
right.
Yeah,
Let's roll in.
We need to start playing this smarter because we fucked up twice so far.
Okay. Right. So you make your way to the front gate. And by the way, I don't know when did you guys fuck up?
Well, we should have checked
Don't
what
tell
those Ebernites were fighting over, and we should have taken that powder from what's his name.
Maybe.
You know what?
I don't,
You're not
I don't,
playing the game. It's a fuck up
fair
to us.
enough. It's a fuck up to you
Don't
guys.
let any of us off. This is our fuck up. It's important that we.
Fair enough. Okay, you guys deal with that. So you make your way up to the gate, and as you approach it, the size of the wall surprises you. It actually looks much. You've forgotten how imposing it looks once you're right beneath it.
Have we noticed?
As I do that, I'm leaning back and I'm pretending to fall asleep in the back seat.
And I say, Tark, do you notice the any differences in the wall? Like, does it look like it's more barricaded than before?
Do I notice any difference in the wall?
I'm asking Justin.
Looks the exact same.
Okay.
It is. Yeah. So you make your way up to the gate, and not a stormtrooper, one of the regular guards, stops at the top of the gate as you guys stop right in front, and he says, "Who's in there?"
Hey, Stal.
Tal?
Tal and Crichton and Tark here as well.
Oh, nuts! What are you guys doing back here? It's been so long. Guys, open the gate. Open the gate. It's Tal. All right, come on in, guys. Come on in. Oh, sorry. And you hear someone kind of shout at him. He says, "I'm on duty, but it's good to see you guys. I got to keep it down. Half the town's asleep."
Who is that up there? Fella.
It's Len.
Len. Len, can after you let us in, why don't we get a drink later? Maybe we'll see you tomorrow after you've done your duty.
Yeah. You'll probably see me tomorrow. I'll see you in the morning, okay?
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh man, I want to hear about your stories. But and you hear him excitedly talking to the other guard, Or to one of the stormtroopers. He's talking excitedly to one of the stormtroopers. The stormtrooper is like,
I don't know who this guy is.
All right, and the gate opens, and you guys make your way into the center of town. Now, there are a few places of note for you guys in particular, and you guys are welcome to come up with any new places that you think would be appropriate. Tal, the place that stands out for you the most is your uncle's garage. That's where he would work on the Lancer, and you spent a lot of time there before your mother passed away and your father disappeared. You even would spend maybe half the week there, and once they did disappear or died, you kind of became a permanent resident there before moving out to the outpost. All right, so that place has a special place in your heart. That's where you always stay when you come back to Baric. Usually your uncle isn't there, but you know the code to get in through the slide door at the front.
1, 2, 3, 4.
That's the kind of combination the idiot puts on his luggage.
But it's so obvious that nobody would guess it.
Who knows what that's from? Comment in the sections. What's that from?
Oh, I'm not allowed to say?
No, you know. I know you know.
Creighton?
Well, for me, I would definitely go to Courtney's.
Yeah.
Who's kind of a friend in the city who I have a connection with, kind of I guess if you'd say a family friend. I've known her for a long time, but her and her daughter Sill's place. I'd probably go stay there. Basically, I have a connection with this lady. We were friends for a long time, and at one time I did happen to save her daughter. She was staying out too late in a sandstorm, and I went out after her and made sure she got back safe. So we have a pretty strong connection. And I just so happened to bring a succulent plant back for her that I know she would appreciate. So I have that to bring to her.
Perfect. And Tark?
Hospital.
Yes. Hospital is where your dad...
Where my father worked, where I studied, where I was trained as a surgeon and a medical professional, so I know all the nurses and staff there, and I'm very familiar there, and I'm always willing to go there and roll up my sleeves and help out where I can because my duty is support. I enjoy supporting those.
I see. Okay. So the lights of the hospital are still on, and the only other lights in town that are actually on are the observatory, the mayor's quarters, the bar, and the hospital. Those are the only places that are still awake. And Tark, there is a... You used to go to the bar a lot when you lived in Baric. Would that be accurate for you?
Sure.
Okay. So you used to go a good amount. You didn't get overly drunk, but you just go in for your shift after your shift and have a drink or two. And there was a bartender there, a Twi'lek lady, one of the few aliens in Baric, and you became pretty good friends with her. But you haven't talked to her in a long time. You haven't messaged her over the past year, and you're not sure exactly where you guys stand. But
what's her name?
Her name is Deena. D-E-E-N-A.
Deena. Well, I better go say hi to Deena. Do you guys fancy a drink?
I'm going to make my way to Courtney's. I'm pretty beat after the long drive, and I think I'd just rather rest, if that's okay.
Ah, Courtney's. Yeah, she's the one with the 8 boobs, right?
No, you're thinking of that other species.
Well, we're all best friends, so we don't know, like, Courtney. If she's a friend of yours, we would know of her.
Yeah, you know her.
Yeah.
You know who I'm going to go stay with, and you know that I'm close to her, so it makes sense.
You have no romantic feelings with Courtney, do you?
No, more like a sister-brother relationship.
Yeah. Well,
like a southern sister-brother relationship.
Sorry for any Southerners watching.
What about you, Tal?
Like really south, like tip of South America.
South.
What about you, Tal? What are you at?
I'll come with you. I'll go to the bar. I don't. I'm still got some conspiracy theories going on involving my uncle, so I don't really want to go to his garage just yet.
I hear you. Crichton, well, look, I wouldn't mind seeing Courtney as well. And frankly, and I lean in close, I'm not sure how comfortable I am about this presence. These men in white armor just yet. I don't know how safe it would be to split up. But if you really want to see Courtney, I'd say all three of us make over there now.
Are you planning on doing anything tonight? Are you planning on making a move or
No.
anything? I think it's a little suspicious for us to be out this late as it is. I was thinking first thing in the morning we start figuring out things. And Courtney, if there's any information, I feel like Courtney would be the first one to let me know. So why don't we, I don't know, I'm thinking we split up and we come back with it. You do your sleuthing in the bars in the medical center, and Tal goes to his uncle, and we meet up and share with what we got.
Well, I wouldn't mind saying hi to Courtney either, but fair enough. If you and I read it, and I'm like,
I'm sure she'd be happy to see you as well. But
no, but
yeah,
I
I think
I read that you want to be with her alone, so I'm like, that's fair. Tal and
the
I
other
would
thing
be-
is me and you and Tal, we've been together for how long now? I'm sure we're eager to have some space for a little bit.
Fair enough. Well, Tal, and I slap Tal in the back and say, we don't need him, half jokingly. Let's go get a drink.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Perfect. Okay, so I will start with Tark and Tal. Okay, so you guys make your way to the bar, and as you're walking down the street and just having some lighthearted conversation, you see a patron leave the bar, and a droid is out front who is ushering the man out, and as you get closer, you can kind of hear what the droid is saying. And in a broken mechanical voice, he says, "Yes, it is time for you to go. Please come back again. Goodbye. Last call. Last call is over. Goodbye."
We must know this droid if we've been there 100 times.
You do know this droid. The droid's name is Phil. P41L. Phil.
Phil?
Yeah.
Not P4L?
Do you prefer Phil or P1L?
You ask him?
No, I know him.
You must prefer
Okay.
Phil.
Is he like a
I'd say-
protocol droid or something? Or
He's a protocol droid, somewhat. You actually know, Creighton, that your friend Dina, even though you're not there, you've already split up. Your friend Dina actually worked on Phil. She made him and then sold him to the.
I thought Dina was my friend.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, not Dina. Sorry, Courtney.
Court.
Courtney made Phil, sold him to Dina, and Courtney's a bit of a gearhead. But anyways, we'll get to that. Tark and Tal, you approach as Phil straightens up and stands very robot-like.
And I kind of nod to him like an old friend, and I kind of say, Phil, it's been too long.
Well, look what the cat dragged in. It is Tark himself. I
And
didn't think
Tal. And I slap Tal in the back and pull him in.
Yes, Mr. Ruth. We have not spent much time together, but it is a pleasure to see you, as always.
Pleasure to see you too. Now let's get some drinks. Last call, right?
I am sorry, but last call has just ended, and while I would love to let you in, Tal, unfortunately I cannot let this smelly womp rat into Dina's bar.
Phil, look, we don't need drinks. I just need to speak with Dina. I haven't seen her in a year, and I feel like I should say hello. Don't worry, we're not going to be drinking.
I know you haven't seen her in a year. You haven't even sent her a single hello or greeting.
Tal, it's not, or Phil, it's not like there's no, like I understand, and I want to make it up to her. I'm going to go in and I'm going to apologize. Like I said, we're not here to buy drinks, and I pull out a credit or two. Droids like credits, and I say, look, Phil, this is for all the times that you didn't have to throw me out of here, and I slip some credits to him.
Okay, I am going to make you do a negotiation roll.
Sure.
All right. So that is going to involve your presence.
Yeah, so I got 2 green. Now, do I get a bonus for slipping in credits?
Yes, I'm going to give you a boost for slipping in credits.
Okay.
I'm going to make it an average roll, so 2 purple.
Everything's average.
And I'm going to set you I'm going to give you a setback because he's programmed for anger
whoa.
when he sees you.
Have I not? When he sees me, he's looking for anger. Oh, I see. Okay. All right.
That's someone who's really pissed off when they have to go in and reprogram their droid. When this guy comes back,
I got one.
One failure?
Yeah.
Okay. So he says, I tell you what, I will bend over and you can kiss my rusty metal ass.
I said, Phil, why you gotta be like that? Why do you have to do that? And I say, Tal, can you keep him busy for a second? And I slip past him.
Tark, Dina, danger.
And when I walk inside, I just call out. I go, Dina.
And you see the bar is pretty much.
Hold on, what does Tal do?
Oh yeah, Tal. The robot stops Tal and says, "If I am going to let him in, I am not going to let both of you in. I am angry. I am angry."
Fine.
Okay, so I step in and I call out for Dina.
All right, so immediately you step into the bar, and the bar is called the Watering Hole, and it's designed in a hole kind of pattern. The ground has been shaved away in terraces to create kind of a dancing area beneath steps, and there's steps all around it. And at the far end of the bar is the bar itself, and that is where you see Dina, and she is rubbing furiously on top of the bar, and she says, "Tark, I heard the exchange outside. You know, it's funny. Life, this whole life thing is really funny. There are things in life that get
Dina,
stuck.
look,
They get stuck. Hey, I'm talking to you, okay? They get stuck, and no matter how hard you try, you can't make them disappear," she says as she rubs furiously at the bar. And then other things that are really great, in life, and that they're better. They make your day a great thing, and they just disappear. And they don't tell you why. They don't tell you where. They have to. People like me have to find out.
Dina, shut up. Look, I haven't seen you in a year and a half. I'm trying to make an effort to establish the lost contact. If you don't want me here, then that's fine. I can leave. But I'm trying. Look, I'm sorry I didn't talk to you while I was out. You know how tough it is to try to find a holo recorder in the middle of the barren waste that is this goddamn planet? Okay? It's not exactly around every freaking corner. But I'm here, and the first thing I do when I come back, no, the first thing I do when I come back is I come see you. And you can't even greet me at the door. You know, Tal, your friend Tal is still out there talking to Phil because he won't let either of us in.
And when you mention Phil, a look of confusion crosses her face, and then realization as she remembers something that she may have done a long time ago that she'd already forgotten. She had forgotten about. And she realized, oh, right, the programming.
Yeah.
Well, okay, Tark, you got to understand, I missed having you around.
No. In your infinite wisdom, you miss me having me around, and therefore, the minute I come back, you don't want to see me?
You didn't realize how much of an impact you had on my life, how much I enjoyed having you around. And you just left. You didn't even say goodbye. Why? Why didn't you even come to wish me goodbye?
Because, look, do we have to do this now? Here?
Listen, I'll be honest. It's just good to see you, okay? You want a drink?
I want you to tell Phil to back down so Tal can come in and have a drink with all of us.
Right. And she stops what she's doing on the counter, and she goes to the door. And Phil has his hand on Tal, and he's saying, "Stop! Do not go in! Do not go in!" And Tal isn't really making. Are you really making an effort to go in?
He's saying, "Let me in! Let me in!"
Okay. Do not do it. Do not. I will not let you in. And Dina says, okay, or not, yeah, Dina says, okay, guys, stop this. Phil, let him in. Okay, Dina. And he stops, and Tal, you're let in.
Thank you.
Tark, you know, it's funny. I realized this when you left. There's something about you. I didn't realize it when you were living here all the time, annoying me pretty much every night. But you've got a way of helping everybody just keep their cool. Despite this one altercation we just had, you have this effect on people that everybody just feels more calm around you. And, you know, I didn't realize, but when you left, everything became a lot more chaotic.
In what way?
I don't know, just people started getting angrier, people started getting sick more easily. I don't know, that's probably not connected. She shakes her head and says, you know, like...
No, hold on, people getting sick.
Well, just mentally, you know? People would come in and their anger would just get the better of them. And I know we've got a few angry people in town. We've got a few drunkards. I mean, it's to be expected being on this dust bowl of a planet. But when you were here, you were able to kind of squelch that, you know?
I don't know if it's because of me. I think it was simpler times.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
Tal and I will have that drink.
All right, so she pours you some green liquid.
Green liquid? What's the name of it?
Good question. If somebody wants to research that for me. It's called Bantha water.
Green
Bantha
rum.
water? That's disgusting.
Yeah, well, beggars can't be choosers. It tastes better than it sounds.
Fair enough.
Mm.
Tal, how are you?
Oh, I'm pretty good. I can tell that you're not as good, though, Dina. Hopefully things turn up.
You know who I have for company?
Who?
You guys left? Drunken bar people, and Phil. And I don't know if you noticed, but Phil isn't the most sociable of droids.
No, yeah, I've noticed.
Phil's always good for a laugh, though.
I guess so. His humor level's at 80% right now.
So, can you tell us anything?
Crichton says hi, by the way. He had to go see Courtney.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, of course. Really nice what he did for your daughter.
Yeah, we all know he's a good guy.
All right, well, your drink tonight, it's the new one I invented. It's called a Menkaroo Whistle, or whiskey. Menkaroo whiskey.
It's been around for as long as this universe has been.
Hey, you know what? You know what? We just got a new shipment of alcohol in, and I found it in my recipe book. Okay, you know, fine.
Look, speaking of new things, we got a real quick questions before, because I know you're closing up shop. Tal is going to ask you about something, but before that, I want to know, these men, there's these guys in white armor, they were walking the lines, and we saw them fly overhead. What's that about?
Yeah, you know, I haven't seen any personally myself yet, not up close at least. I know there's a few wandering the wall. The most of them, I think, are up in the guards' quarters, last I heard from one of my patrons. But, yeah, none have walked in here. Why? Do they seem bad? I hear they want to bring Baric under Imperial rule or something like that.
Well, Tal says that they were Imperial, and apparently the Empire's bad. At least his uncle thinks so.
Yeah, you seen my uncle anywhere?
You mean Mulder, right?
Yeah.
You know, I haven't. One of my more drunk patrons did say something about seeing the Lancer flying in, and I was expecting to meet with Mulder, because he usually brings me some, you know, fresh ingredients for my bar, but I haven't seen him myself.
Has anyone ever brought you Lou Ramen?
No.
Wow.
Never.
I would ask a mixologist like you, so you know.
Well, and she just brushes it off and says, yeah, whatever. It's good to see you guys. Is there anything else?
Yeah. You mentioned that people were acting angrier since we had left. In what way?
I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It might just be all in my head. I mean, I've been angrier. I mean, I'm sick of this planet. I'm sick of the people here. This job. I mean, I love mixing drinks, but I feel like my potential as a bartender is somewhat limited.
Why?
Well, I get 12 patrons a night. I get paid very little.
So you make good friends. Look, you got Tal and me and Phil.
There's more to life than just friends, Tark. I want to see.
So.
I want to see the galaxy. I want to see the
hold
universe.
on. I don't think so. I don't think there's more life than friends. These guys are my world. Tal, Crichton, both of them. They're idiots, but hey, I do. I'd follow these guys anywhere they went. I think friendship is one of the most important thing. And you, Deanna.
It's Dina.
Not in Twilly.
That
Dina,
makes great whiskey.
Yeah, well, you give us these drinks. Of course, I haven't seen you in a year. Did I hug her yet? You know what? Give me a hug.
Oh God, Tarek, no. You know I don't like hugs.
And I walk around the bar and I say, well, you know what? That's exactly why you need one. You talking about being angry? You talking about me coming in and cooling down the place? Well, you know what? This is exactly what you need. And I give her a big hug. And then I motion for Tal. I said, Tal, you get in here too. There we go.
Yeah.
Guys, this is weird. This is weird, guys. Okay, all right. That's enough. Okay, yes, thank you. Thank you, Tarek. It is Tal. It's good to see both of you.
Can we crash?
I'm sorry.
I ask her while I'm hugging. Can we crash here? I just need a couch.
Yeah, if you want to. I mean, one of you will have to sleep on the floor. I've got some pillows that you could probably fit in one of the booths.
Yeah, you know me. I'll sleep anywhere.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here, and she hands you a key, and she says, if you need to get back in the middle of the night, I know you guys just arrived in town. You probably have some more things you want to do, but if you do want to make your way in, you know where the booths are.
Thank you, Dina, and it's nice to see you again.
Thanks, Tark. All right. And Phil makes his way back in. And he says, Dina, you are still talking to these womp rats? What is wrong with you? They should get out of here. And Dina just shakes her head, and makes her way into the back. Says, good night, guys.
Phil, you and I, we go way back. What's with the hostility? And we'll end it as I'm trying to coax down Phil.
I don't like your mustache.
You know what? It's coming back. It's leaving.
All right, so we're gonna go to Crichton. Oh, you're muted, Crichton.
I know.
Okay.
It's obviously late at night, so I don't want to. My relationship with Courtney was, I haven't been here for a year, but when I was here, it was okay for me to walk into the house at any time.
It always was, yes.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to go in quietly to not disturb her. At the same time, I don't want her to make it, she might think, I don't know, I'll try to be quiet. Okay. So I walk into the door and I punch in the code.
Yep.
And I open the door quietly. And I bring my plant in and I go into the living room, hopefully not disturbing anyone. And I go and sit down on the couch, the seating area. And I lie back to go to bed, hopefully, and to talk to her in the morning.
So I want you to do a stealth roll.
Sure.
Okay. So I'm going to make it an average difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 purple. And I'm going to give you a setback for my own reasons.
Okay.
And then you guys can go ahead and roll whatever your stealth would be.
So I have 1 yellow and 1 green because I have a total of 2 in agility, but I have 1 training in stealth.
Perfect.
Okay. So, how come nothing came up?
I don't know.
Okay, that's weird. But anyways, so I guess I got 2 advantages with the success, a threat, a failure, and another threat. So the 2 threats bake the advantages, and that's why. It's because they all cancel out, so nothing.
Oh, I see. Okay. So everything cancels out. So you are very, very quiet. As quiet as possible. And you hear a come from the direction of Courtney's room.
I say,
And she says, "Who's there? Who's there?"
I say, Courtney, it's just me. It's just Creighton.
Oh, oh my. Okay, all right, yeah. I'm sorry. And she seems overly jumpy. She seems overly jumpy, more so than usual. Usually, you'd be able to wander into the house, and you've been asleep at times, and you've heard Courtney come in and just making coffee, or whatever Star Wars coffee is. And she hasn't been startled by you at all. But this time she looks overly concerned. And she says, "Creighton, oh my goodness, it's been so long. What are you doing here?"
I said, "Shh, we're going to wake Sil. Sil, come into the living room. We'll talk." And I click on a light, and I give her a hug, and I say, "Hi, oh, it's nice to see you." And I offer the plant. I said, "I brought this for you. I knew last time I said I'd get you one."
What is it again?
It's a succulent plant out of from the eastern region of my realms. It's I don't know what the identification of it is, but I can go with your collection of the other ones I brought for you.
Oh, wow! I love it. Thank you, Creighton.
I saw Phil. It was funny. She had him programmed to be angry. Have you ever seen Phil angry? It's ridiculous. Actually, I didn't see Phil. I thought about it on my way here. I wonder what Phil would have been like.
I was going to say, you liar! You liar!
You didn't pass by the bar at any chance, did you? No, you didn't. Oh, okay.
I take that back. I don't know what I'm talking about.
It's good to see you. Here, come in. I'll make you a warm drink.
Yeah. Looks like you've been busy, and I clear her away because she's a mess. She's got stuff everywhere, and I try to make a space for myself among her tech and scroungings that she has.
And as you're pushing things around the table, she says, "Whoa.
What? Did I touch something?"
And she's just sorry, just be careful with that.
I always am.
I know. I'm sorry. And she goes to the table and she carefully moves some intricate pieces over, and she says, "This came in a while ago. I don't know exactly what it is, but I think if I work on it, then I might be able to make it do what it was supposed to do."
What is this? What is it exactly you're working on?
You can do a lore check. It would be she doesn't know what it is, or you can do.
I'm just working on this nuclear device.
It could be anything. Okay, I will do.
Just do intelligence. Any intelligence check. Do you have any knowledge skills?
Intelligence? You mean skills?
Yeah.
No, I don't, unfortunately. So I'll do 2.
Yep.
Any disadvantages? Not really.
I'm gonna make it a 4 difficulty, so 4 purple die to recognize what it is.
So no advantage, but failure.
Okay, so she says, your guess is as good as mine as to what it is, Creighton. But when I figure it out, I'll definitely let you know. You'll be the first to know.
Well, I don't know what it is, but I can tell you you're missing a part right here, and I gesture to a section that she seems to be neglecting. I say, "You're missing a piece. You're almost there." I mean, obviously the circuitry is not connected yet, so something's missing.
Good idea. I'll do that. Thanks. And you see her calm down a little bit and relax. And she goes into the kitchen and begins boiling some water.
As I'm talking to her, and I say, "You're so startled when I came in. I know it's been a year, but surely you shouldn't be afraid of. We're in Baric. It's safe." I did notice, however, that there was a Emperor ship coming in. Did you see any stormtroopers or anything like that?
I haven't seen any myself. I've made sure that Syl stays inside today because I hear that they're here. I know that they are. One of my neighbors came and told me, and I don't want her to go out there. I don't want her to get involved. They're from the Empire, and there's mixed reviews about the Empire. They could be as bad as the Rebellion apparently says that they are. So I just don't want to subject her to that.
Probably for the best. Do you know why they're here at all? Any rumors?
No. Something about our population being a certain amount. I mean, Ebra's grown in population. Our Baric has grown. our neighbor said something about Imperial rule when a planet reaches a certain population.
And how's Syl doing? I haven't seen her in a while.
And she goes into it. She starts telling about how school is doing at the local school and how she is always getting herself into trouble, but she's the light of her life and blah blah blah. And as you're sitting and chatting with her, you begin to sense something behind you. You're not sure exactly what it is, but you sense something.
Syl, are you out of bed?
And you hear really close behind you, maybe about 2 feet. You hear, "Oh, turn around, Crichton, turn around."
What have I told you? You can't sneak up on me. And I run over and I give her a hug.
Okay, so as you run over, you see she's got a blaster. A
Whoa!
little blaster toy. It's a toy.
Yeah.
She's like,
I know. Whoa! Don't shoot! Don't shoot! It's me,
Put
Crichton.
him up.
And as she's doing it, I try to disarm her just as a joke and say, "You gotta be quicker than that," and see if I can hold it towards her.
Okay, do a melee roll.
That's funny. And you kill her.
Yes.
So brawl, right?
Brawl, and it's going to be easy.
Okay, so
Do you want to win? Do you want to win, or do you want to fail?
No, I want to win.
Okay.
Okay. To crush her dreams. No, just in a playful way. Here we go.
Crush
so
your dreams.
I did 2 purples. Is that right?
You did 2 purples.
Oh,
on your brawl?
extreme success.
Wow. Okay. Super success and super advantages. So
So I'm gonna actually turn it into kind of a pantomime, where I'll take it from her and I'll start to like actually fumble with it, and I'll end up on the ground with her somehow got me pinned with a gun. It's like, I don't know how you did it, Syl, but you have grown up.
All right, and she giggles. She giggles and laughs and says, "Did you bring me back anything, Crichton? Did you bring me back?" And her mom says, "Oh, Syl."
Oh, I was so busy. I don't think, I heard you've been such a bad girl, and then I pulled out this fancy rock that I found for her. Nothing valuable. Just.
Oh, has she been?
I don't know what he's implying, but.
I don't know what you're implying too.
Bad girl.
No. All right, I give her this rock that looks like it's been tumbled by the wind.
Okay, and she reaches for it as if it is the most precious thing she has ever seen.
Now, I think, and I could be wrong, you have to ask your mom, because she's a lot smarter than me, but that stone came from outside of this planet. Look at the way it's been smoothed. It's clearly a meteorite. It could have come from millions and light years away.
I didn't realize you were talking to the kid when you said bad girl. I was half listening, and then I'm like,
that mustache. Taking control.
And her eyes go wide, and it looked like she was going to say something really loud, but she goes, "Whoa, Crichton, thank you so much. I love it."
No problem. Anything for you now. Get to bed.
Okay. And she runs to her room, and you hear giggling in her room for the next 15 minutes.
Wow, that's stone blew her mind.
She's a little high.
Yeah.
So you and Courtney continue to talk, and you catch up. You tell her a bit about your patrols. And all of a sudden, as you're talking, you hear the front door slide open.
You expecting guests, Courtney?
And she looks at you, eyes wide.
And I gesture for her to go back with Syl, and I go to the front door.
Okay, so we're gonna cut you off there.
Okay.
And we're gonna go back to Tark and Tal.
So we've had a few drinks. Oh no, we're lying down sleeping.
So
we're
you
ready to go to bed.
So it's up to you guys. You guys can go to bed, or you can leave the bar. It's.
Ooh. I was listening to the Rangers game.
You're watching football.
I picked up this strange broadcast, Tal. What do you make of it?
No, I would say
It's from the future.
we have a place to sleep now. I still wouldn't mind saying hi to Courtney. Do you want to stop over there now that Dean has gone to bed?
Would we do this?
You know, like, my understanding is that, okay, if he saved her daughter, how many years ago?
About 2 years ago. She was 7.
So we'd be gone last year. So we would have known about it. Like, it would have been a thing. At which point, if he got close, maybe we wouldn't be that close.
You wouldn't be. You're not too close to Courtney. You know of her. You've seen her in passing. It wouldn't necessarily be crossing your mind. Now, if you wanted to go catch up with Crichton, that's a different story.
Well, knowing what I know about him in the metagame, yes. But knowing what I know about him in the real game, no. So I'm going to go to bed because there wouldn't be any reason.
Okay. Now the other option there is still the hospital and there is still the garage.
Well, if last call, it must be what, 2, 3 in the morning?
It's about 1:30. You haven't been here too long.
Oh, so it's American last call. It's not Quebec last call, where it's like 3 in the morning.
They don't have a last call in Quebec. It starts first call.
It starts early.
Last call blends into first call.
No, I don't think I would go to the hospital at this point. I would get the night staff, and for sure my dad wouldn't be working. No, I would say Tal, unless you want to go anywhere. I'd say let's hit the hay.
No, I would agree. I still don't know if I like the idea of trying to go find my uncle this late at night, given all the stuff that he had told me about the Imperials. Yeah. So I would try to rest.
Yeah, me too. But will I head to head and be like, Tal, you sleep? No.
I wonder what Crichton's doing.
I wonder what Crichton's doing right now. We'll kick each other?
Probably a pantomime.
Do you think he's thinking of us?
Do you think he's thinking about us? Okay, all right. If you can marry Dina or Phil or an Ebra Knight, who would you marry?
I don't know.
Phil.
Yeah, probably.
All right, we're hitting the hay then.
Yeah, all right, sleepy time.
You know, I could hear your entire conversation.
I hope you're flattered.
With us? Does Phil sleep here too?
Phil just stands at the bar. He doesn't really sleep.
Then I'm gonna have a conversation with Phil. Oh, because I was trying to calm him down while we're getting ready for bed. Phil, look, I understand that you feel like you're protecting Dina, but I didn't leave Dina because, and I kind of looked towards the door where she exited. I didn't leave because I didn't care about her. I left because I feared that if I tried to say goodbye to her, I don't think, and I turn to Tal too to make sure he's not overhearing, I don't think I would have left if I came here to say goodbye to Dina. I don't think I would have had the beat. I wouldn't have been able to leave.
So there's a long pause. Processing. Dialogue. So there's this long, very loud silence in between, and finally, you hear his robotic voice answer, "I understand."
Does compute. Okay. And then I'm going to say, well then, good night, Phil. By the way, Phil, you're looking nice. You're looking a little better than when I last saw you. You had some upgrades?
I did have several upgrades. Thank you for noticing.
Who did them? There's no one in town that would do those.
Well, Dina has had several requisitions from the lady who made me, Courtney. She is a very skilled technician.
Oh, no shit. Courtney made you.
That's right. And she continues to modify me to make me into the charming robot that you see before you today.
Fair enough. Well, good night, Phil.
Good night, Tark, and good night, Tal.
Good night.
Perfect. So we're going to go back to Crichton. Crichton.
All right. So
The door is
after,
slid open.
yeah, and did Courtney make it to the other room, or is it kind of hard to get that way?
Courtney's gone to the other room.
I look for some tool or something that's pretty heavy, some sort of wrench or device, and I tuck it underneath my poncho. And I go over. I say, "Hello."
And as you step closer to the door, you hear some come on, another woman's voice, struggling with something outside the door.
Stormtroopers.
Okay, so I go to the door, and is the door open?
Yes, the door is wide open.
Can I help you?
Dan rushes in. And she turns around and says, "What do you want?" As you see she's struggling, she's trying to pull a skid up the stairwell into the house.
Do I see what's on the skid?
Like a wagon. Looks like files, boxes, and some equipment, some gear.
I would love to help you if I knew what you were doing, and I walk over to give a hand to the... You know what time it is, right?
And she turns and looks directly in your eyes and says, "I know exactly what time it is. Do you know what time it is? Do you know what time it is?"
Yes, I do, and it seems like an obscure time for you to be visiting someone.
"Grab the other end of my wagon and help me in the house, Crichton."
Oh, I know who it is.
You know who it is. This is Mayor Ripley.
Last name Ripley?
No, Ripley Sampson. Mayor Sampson, I guess.
Miss Ripley, I walk around knowing that she's this kind of eccentric kind of woman. I go and lift it up, and I say, "Syl is going to be, she has school in the morning," and I lift it up. "How are you, by the way? I haven't seen you in a year."
How do I look, Crichton? Do I look good? Do I look happy?
You look lovely, very, as good as ever.
It's dark. You can't see me.
Probably why you look as good as ever. And I help her inside the house.
Oh my gosh.
"Can I get you something?" And I call back, "Courtney, it's just the mayor."
And the mayor, you know that the mayor and Courtney are actually quite close.
Yeah.
And yeah, there are rumors that there's a relationship going, but they haven't made it open. And as she makes her way through the door, Courtney comes out, and she sees Ridley Sampson.
Mayor, I don't want to make a comment about your wisdom, but you
Stop calling me that. Stop calling me that. And she pulls the wagon into the house all the way.
Sorry, Samson. I was just going to comment that, a lot of people are on edge right now, and perhaps nights, going around at nighttime is not the best thing. Is she staying here? Does she stay here?
She is staying here tonight. As you look at her boxes, you see that a lot of
that case, I would
her goods, her gear.
In that case, I just stay out of her way. If I get the impression she's staying here, I would be like, go back to drinking my tea. Do you want a cup of tea?
Yes, I would like.
What is all this stuff you're lugging around? I hand her a cup.
She closes the door, and Courtney says, "Yeah, what's going on?" And she says, "I just got sacked. Me, the mayor of Baric."
What do you mean sacked?
Leader of Ebra for 15 years.
But you've been voted for. How can you be sacked? It's not the end of your term.
Voting doesn't matter anymore, Crichton. Voting.
A lady in the lake gave her the sword.
And therefore she should
rule.
rule.
Vote for you.
So she pulls out. She reaches into her jacket and she pulls out a flask, and she opens it very briskly and begins pouring it in the tea. And she says,
"You're offering," and I offer my cup over.
And she gives you a stern, cold look, and says, "Back off, Crichton. I'm having a bad night."
She apparently doesn't like me very much. All right.
And you could tell that she is pissed. It's pretty clear to you that she is very angry.
She's taking it out on me, though. What have I done? I helped her get her thing in the house. So you've been fired. Who fired you? Who has the authority to fire you? I'm obviously putting 2 and 2 together.
So you have been in the outpost for the past year, right, Crichton? That was the last sentence that I said.
If I'm not mistaken, yes, that's where I'm supposed to be. Yes.
Yeah, and you're here right now, which is very strange. But there's nothing I can do about it because it's not in my jurisdiction anymore, seeing as I don't have a job. These people flew in. You've heard of the Empire, right?
Yeah, it might have crossed my mind at some point.
Yeah, of course you have. They've decided that Ebra now belongs to them. Baric, everything that myself, my father, and my grandfather have worked so hard to build and to create and make what it is.
And you're just going to let them say this? You're a mayor. Can't you stand up for Baric and Ebra?
What do you want me to do?
Your job, Mayor.
What? To fight these people that apparently have an entire hold over the entire galaxy? You think that me and maybe a few of the soldiers that would back me up are enough to take down Imperial stormtroopers wearing complete plate mail and blaster rifles and all of their Imperial wisdom? And even if I do beat this Jendin guy who's taken my spot, what then? They're going to find out that they have a governor who's now dead, and they're going to send more Imperial troops. And
but
then what do you
Samson,
think?
they've been here for a day, and already you're going to hand the key over to the town?
I don't have a choice. They say...
You always have a choice.
They say, Samson.
This isn't right. You're going to just let these imperialists come in here and claim what we've worked so hard to build?
And Courtney puts a hand on your shoulder.
It just doesn't make sense. And my history with the mayor hasn't been good already. We never see eye to eye as it is. And I think she's a little bit of a coward, to tell you the truth.
Courtney says, listen, I know you've had a rough day. I know you've had a really rough day, Ridley, but you can't take it out on Crichton. He's here to help. He saw the Imperial shuttle go by, and he wanted to see what was going on, and I don't think he's on their side either, but he has a point. Why would you hand it over to them right away? And she shakes her head and she says, I don't think you guys understand. She takes a long swig from her tea. This is the Empire. I know a bit about them. I've had some diplomatic dealings with them, but this is a complete surprise to me. Their power completely overwhelms the galaxy. Their rule is taking away the very rights that...
I understand, and we're all afraid of the Empire, but if we let them bully us like this, that's why they get power. That's why they can take these places over. We can't just let them take Baric. We got to stop this. And you know how this town works. You know that we won't stand for this. Are we going to be paying a tax to these tyrannists?
And Courtney says, I don't know. Crichton, maybe she's right. Maybe we should back down.
I can't believe that's coming from you, Courtney. But still, you're afraid of a few stormtroopers around the town. What do you think is going to happen when they start coming here in force? When they start
Crichton,
living here?
What do you think is going to happen if we fail? What do you think is going to happen to Syl? The risks are just too great. And she's shaking her head. Ridley is shaking her head, Samson. And she says, no, Courtney. He's right. We can't let this stand. Crichton, I had to give them the key. Okay? I had to go away looking like I was cooperating. And the reason is that I have a connection. I have a connection with a division of the rebellion that is actually making their way here to Ebra right now.
That's so weird.
I can't say anything about it other than that. I know I can trust you. Right, Crichton?
Yeah, you can trust me, but more to that. I have a suspicion why the Empire's here. If you can get me in contact with that division, I might have some information that could be crucial.
Well, I'll see what I can do. I do have their contact information. Just one man, not even the leader of them, but somehow he found a radio signal and was able to contact me. He's one of the members of the communications department in the intelligence. I think he's a Thorian? An Thorian. Anyways, his name's Otto. I'll get you the contact information for him, and if you can get a hold of him, then maybe we can do something about this. But you let me know right away once you reach them.
Yeah, you get me that information. I was hoping to stay the night here, but I can tell there's probably not a space for me, so I'll just be headed out.
You can sleep on the floor if you really want to, Courtney says.
No, I think I should go talk to Tark and Tal. Especially with this news of you losing your job.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind some time to catch up with Ridley. So
listen, I'll be over at Diane's. Dina's.
Dina, like Tina, but with a D.
Okay, Dina's trying to find some place to stay. But any more information, if they come to you about anything else,
the watering hole.
See if you can let us know.
Yeah, thanks. Creighton. I really appreciate that.
And I open the door, and the dust storm has started, and I'm about to leave.
Okay, and as you leave, you feel a tugging on the back of your shirt, and Syl is there, wide eyes, and says, "You going, Creighton?"
Syl, I'm going, but it won't be the last time you see me.
Better
Sorry
not.
to say it.
Yeah. Well.
You hang on to that rock. I'll be back for it sometime.
Yeah, get a friend for him. I named him Gerald.
It's a stupid name.
Shut up.
Be ashamed.
Good. Okay, so Creighton, you make your way to the watering hole, and what do you do when you get there?
Knocks, obviously.
Is Phil there?
Phil is not at the front door, no.
Well, I would knock to go in. If not, if I can go in, right? Is it open?
Nope, it's not open. It's definitely locked.
Do I know the room that Tark would probably be staying in?
You don't know that they're staying here. You don't know.
Oh.
They could have gone to another part of town. You know that they were going to be here.
Okay, so I'll try here. So I'll knock on the door.
All right.
Wait,
So, dong, dong, dong. You hear a hard knock on a metal door.
What was that?
Door. And I get up and I walk over to the door.
Looks so funny with your mustache.
Fuck
All right,
you.
you open the door, or so you open the.
So I as soon as he's about to, oh shit, I don't know. It's gonna be him. So yeah, I wait.
I open it. Hello.
Tark, let me in.
Oh, hey. I turn to Phil. I go, just, it's fucking Crichton. Chill.
Phil, looking good.
Oh, hello, Master Agathon. It is good to see you again.
Give us a twirl. Let's see what she's done to you.
I will not twirl. It is not
Twirl,
in my,
Phil, come on.
It is not in my programming
I
to
gave you those
twirl,
abductors.
Master Agathon.
Tark, I got some new info, but maybe we should talk in the morning.
No, let's talk now if it's important.
I think we need to get involved in this, believe it or not. It's if we don't do anything, I don't think the mayor's going to really do anything. So I think we need to get involved, especially knowing about the ramen.
The blue ramen.
The blue ramen.
No, it's the blue ramen.
Okay. Well, Sal, what do you think? Do you think we should get involved?
You know what? I
Pretty
think
sad.
I think the only person that we can really go to at this point would be my uncle. Do you guys want to go?
I think Tark's still waking up.
Do you guys want to go, or do you want to get some rest?
Well, it's like early in the morning. So what did she say exactly? That
She said she
the
has
rebellion is coming?
yeah, the rebellion has basically imposed their force upon Baric. They've kicked her out as mayor, and now she's trying to get us connected with the rebellion. I said the Empire. I said the rebellion, but I meant Empire. But she's getting us connected with the rebellion, and she wants to know any information or any leads we're letting him know.
Okay, well then my argument would be why?
Why let them know?
No, why do any of this? Why bother?
Because we care about the people.
As
we care the people about
groggy Tark.
Okay, we care about the people in Baric. Dina.
But what's bad
Courtney,
happening to them?
Well, if the rumors are true of what the Empire does, they're going to impose their way of life. I mean, Baric is a beautiful place because
we know of their
we
way of
made it
life?
for ourselves. Why should they come here and take over after
Okay,
all
hold
our
on,
hard work?
Creighton, I'm not against you. I'm saying the three of us, if we're going to thrust ourselves into the middle of a conflict that we might not fully understand, my only question is, do we wholeheartedly understand what we're supporting or what we're stopping? I mean, look, if the Empire is as bad as stories, say they are, then of course. But really, what do we really know? All we know is that the mayor lost her job. And from what I remember of Mayor Ridley, she wasn't always the nicest person.
That's a good point. Maybe we'll have some better leadership for a change.
That's all I'm saying. And what I'm saying is, look, this idea of a looming, all-powerful empire sounds scary, but at the same time, it doesn't necessarily mean that order is a bad thing. They can come in, they can I mean, look, I love this town, but I also don't see them. I mean, Dina said that they've been here for a little while, and they haven't even come in.
But
They've just been
Tark, I got to
patrolling.
ask you this: they've come in to take over control. So I got to ask you, what kind of benevolent empire would come in and take over for altruistic reasons?
Well, what would be their ulterior motives?
To have control, to have money, to have land. They're just going to take over, and they're going to change Baric. And I hope it's for the better, and I hope they are looking after their people. But to do so in such a way of force, to do it because they have more men and more firearms.
And I reach over and I grab a drink and I pour us each a drink as we're talking. I say, look.
I sit down beside him.
And all I'm saying is, we are three people who are taking everyone's word for it. Now, I'm not saying that the Empire is good. I'm not saying that the rebellion is good. What I'm saying is that at this point, we don't know anything. I don't know if I'm willing to take up arms against something that one person has said is a bad thing until I feel firsthand that it is.
But it's more than one. You heard my uncle as well.
Well, he's the one.
No, it's as well as the mayor.
Well, I haven't. Not that I don't believe you, Crichton, but I wasn't there speaking to Ridley. For all I know, she was pissed off and she lost her job.
That being said, as incompetent as the mayor is, she's not a liar.
No, but she's also very vindictive, and she was just fired.
She cares a lot about Baric.
Look, in how many years have we lived here? How much progress has Baric really made? All I'm saying is, an empire opens trade routes. It opens the prospect for more global understanding, where we can,
on their agenda. I'm just, the things that Baric has done for themselves. Baric has struggled against the conditions of this planet, against everything, and we've done it for ourselves. And now the Empire is going to come and take that away from us.
But what are they taking away?
They're taking away our ownership.
How do you know that?
I don't. I'm just worried about it, and if we don't stop it before it becomes... They've already taken our leadership and replaced it with someone else. Why? We voted.
What if that leader is a better? But what if that leader is a better person? What if they're smarter? What if they're more? What if they're more appropriate at doing it?
I would take an elected official over one who gets things done any day.
But you don't know that Ridley ever got things done.
That's my point. Is even though she might not have been the most efficient leader, she was our leader.
I don't know. I'm not against it. I'm
a passionate guy, and I don't want to go into this headlong. So I'm going to heed what you're saying. I get what you're saying, Tark, and I know you're looking out for the best for me and Tal. But I think if we just become ambivalent to this, not even caring, you know, things could escalate beyond our control, and then it'll be too late.
But what you're saying is you're going on this assumption. All of this is going on this assumption that bad stuff is going to come from this. And what I'm saying is everything that we've driven for, everything that Baric has taught us, the training, the staff, everything that we've worked towards since we were young was to grow and become more prosperous. And what if the Empire is the simplest and most effective way to become that? I mean, effectively, then we're shooting ourselves in the foot to stay on a rock tumbling through the universe with no connections to anything else. I mean, the Empire is part of a large, interconnected, an empire where they have access to different parts of the world, to the ships that you want to fly, Tal, to the parts of the universe that you want to see, Crichton, to the kind of support that I've long dreamed of, the people who help the frontline fighters in the Empire. I mean, look, I can't imagine that any entire system of government is absolute evil or absolute good. I can't imagine that the Empire is not there to aid colonies when they are under attack and things like that, at least if they're under there. Look, let's say the Empire did take over Baric, and we got attacked by Sand People. Who do you think they're protecting at that point? We don't have anything of interest. We don't have any gold or goods that they are taking from us. They're just building a backwater town into maybe something better.
But don't we? I mean, the Lou Ramen.
Well, we didn't even know that existed until, what, 7 hours ago? Or last week?
Yeah, just because we don't know it exists, it doesn't mean that they never did.
I mean, like his uncle said. Yeah, his uncle said the probes, we've gone through these probes, and we know that their technology is pretty vast. Their power is pretty vast. It's a good chance they already know what's here.
And it sounds like they're willing to go to any lengths to get what they want, from what we've heard. I mean, you kind of asked me whether or not I wanted to fly all their ships and use all their resources, but at what cost? I stand with Crichton here. I'd rather have an elected official. I'd rather have someone or something that I can call my own rather than some force wholly evil or just partially controlling every move.
Tal, I think we need to take the wisdom and Tark into consideration, but we've done everything as a group so far, and it's gotten us out of some really tight, sticky situations. Let's move together. Let's make our decision as a group yet again. Tark, I'll take your leadership, but my place is that if for a second they're not keeping Baric's best interest in mind, if they're just being a muscling in and taking advantage of our people, we have to act.
Yeah, of course. And I obviously support you guys no matter what. I think it's really easy to buy into the stories that people will tell about wholly evil empires and the things that they can do. I think a lot of this is shades of gray. I think there's a lot of things that the rebellion, as great as it sounds, might not be that great, and the Empire, as evil as they sound, might not be that bad. And all I'm saying is, if we're talking about two different shades of gray, I just want to make sure that we have all the facts before deciding on what side we're on.
Let's get the facts. We'll move forward. And if I have even the slightest inclination that they're not here for the best interests, I'm calling the rebellion. I'm letting them know what's happening here. I'm getting involved.
I'm with you on that.
And I drink back the drink and pour another round.
And you know me, I'll follow you guys no matter where it is, even if it is in support of the rebellion.
Now, when we do say, let's do some more reconnaissance. Let's get involved. Let's talk to these stormtroopers. Let's talk to the representatives of the Empire.
Stormtroopers? Is that what they're called? Stormtroopers?
Yeah, that's what troopers. Yeah, I think that's what the mayor called them.
Well, then yeah, they probably are evil. Show me the Empire that has pink bunny troops, and then maybe I'll fight for them.
Gumdrop troopers.
Look, let's. I agree. I think reconnaissance is probably the first thing we should be doing, and in fact, Even though I got a few drinks in me, I think might be a good time to take a look.
It might be a good idea also to get someone we trust out to where we found the Lou Ramen, just to see if they have scouts and stuff going out towards that way. Anyways, is there anyone in town that we know of that runs the same way we do that we can talk to keep an eye out and communicate with us?
Who's that kid at the gate, Len?
Yeah, he doesn't leave much. So, Justin.
Yes.
If we wanted someone to go out and keep a vigil on the location that we were, was there people that, a connection with other people who do rounds as well?
Yeah, you might be able to speak to the guards. There's probably one of a captain, or not a captain, an officer who would appoint who goes out and scouts around Baric.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like who has your job in the outpost. Now, people are probably out right now, but they might
something
be
to keep
back.
in mind.
Yeah, it's something to keep in mind. You might be able to do that in the guards' living quarters.
Tark, did you put your gun back together?
Yeah. Well, now that I'm in the town.
Okay.
All right. So the robot pipes up, and it's shut down to conserve energy, but every now and then it pipes up and says, "It's 4 o'clock," and tells the time.
Morning?
On the hour. Yeah, it's late.
Jesus Christ. I gotta get some sleep.
Yeah, me too.
Let's hit the hay and we'll be ready to go in the morning.
Okay. So, you go to sleep, and the night passes very quickly. It's one of those sleeps that you basically blink, and you're awake. And Dina is poking you, Tark, with the end of a broom and says,
Oh, she doesn't have to. The minute she opened the door, I would have snapped up. I'm a very light sleeper.
Perfect. Okay, so she's, oh, you're awake. Perfect. Well, I hate to do this, guys, but I gotta kick you out. I gotta get ready for the morning rush.
No, of course. Look, Dina, I appreciate you letting us sleep here. And we're not too comfortable, or sure how comfortable we are about these stormtroopers and this Empire's influence. If you hear anything at all, please give me a call, because we're not convinced right now that they're here for good reasons.
All right. And what about your whereabouts? Should I tell them that I know that you're here? Or?
There's no reason they should be looking, but no, keep it under your hat for now, just in case.
All right, will do.
Just for your own safety. And here, and I hand her the what do you call them? The communicators.
Comlink.
Just comlink, yeah. I say just buzz me on my comlink if you hear anything.
All right.
You wouldn't
Perfect.
happen to know anything about them beyond what you told me last night, do you?
No. Sorry. Wish I could help.
No worries.
All right. Well, here. And she reaches under the bar and she throws you guys each some packaged bar of some sort. And she says, that should probably fill you up for get you to lunch.
A caramel?
Yeah.
Where the hell did you get this, Dina?
Came on the last shipment.
How did they get the caramel into those things?
I don't know. Is there caramel in this?
We figured out interstellar travel, and we still can't figure out how they get.
Man, I love the Empire.
This stream was brought to you by Caramel Bar. All right, so it's morning. You look outside and you see some miners have started to walk into the bar. Not little kids.
Not like.
It's an ID though.
We're not talking about like Syl and all of her friends.
Yeah.
We're talking about people who dig for a living.
Look at my meteorite.
So it's 7 dwarfs.
Yeah, pretty much. So they walk in and they nod to you. Some nod, some just gruffly walk to the bar and start getting their breakfast.
Oh, I also asked Dina to store my rifle for the time being.
Yeah, sure.
And I asked if she had a blaster pistol that I could borrow.
Do I have a blaster pistol? And she reaches
No,
under...
if you have one I could borrow.
Do a negotiation check.
Dina?
The amount of successes that you get will determine what weapon you get.
Damn it, Dina.
I'm gonna use coercion. I'll hold a knife to her throat.
Can I use cool instead?
No.
It's not a
the same
jukebox.
thing.
You can't just hit it and
Still
it goes.
presence. Still presence. I could be like, hey, all right, what's the difficulty?
It's going to be 2. It's going to be average, and I'll give you a boost because of succeeding to win her over last night.
Sure.
Is that what you call it?
Hit and advantage.
Hit and an advantage. So you get a hold-up blaster.
Sweet.
And she says,
It says Con Air on it.
you know what? Dark, I don't really use that one too often, so you can hang on to it for a week.
Thanks, Tina. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Now get out of here. Need to make room for my patrons.
And I hold out it.
What does that look like exactly?
You know, hold out it.
He's holding out that blaster.
It's a hold-up blaster.
Get him. All right, so what do you guys do?
I want to speak to Ridley, or at least use her to gain access to her old quarters. Do you know where she was, Creighton?
Yeah, she's staying at Courtney's.
Why don't we ask her if there's any sort of information that she could share with us, like the person in charge?
Sounds like a good idea.
Okay, so you make your way to Courtney's house, and after a few knocks, the door is answered by a smiling. Actually, no, Sill's not there. Sill's at school. Courtney opens the door. She leads you in and shows you to Ridley, and she says,
Hi, Courtney.
"Ah, well, if it isn't the 3 banthas. How are you guys doing?"
Oh, fuck you too.
Yeah, well, I knew that was coming. What's up?
Are you part Wookiee? You got a little. Never mind.
You can stop now. You can stop and just ask your question. You do realize that I can kick you whenever I want.
Not anymore. Crichton mentioned last night that you were weary about these Empire and that the rebellion was on their way here.
Here I was having a nice morning, enjoying my breakfast with people I love, and you guys come in and remind me of the shadow that's looming over all of us.
Look, we're here to help.
All right, yeah.
Is there any information you can give us in regards to who you handed your key over to, or like we're at this point trying to substantiate your claims. Not that we don't believe you, but ultimately, if we're going to get involved in this fight, we need to make damn sure that the Empire is evil. More so, why they're here and what they want.
And she looks over the 3 of you, and she just quickly glances over Creighton. She gives the 2 other guys, you 2 others, a more stern look, just weighing you over. And then she turns back to Creighton and says, "Did you tell them?"
I tell everything to Tarkin Tal.
All right, well, I guess you guys are in the loop now. I have no choice but to trust you. The guy who took over my job, he's the new governor, or so they call him. His name is Evich Genton.
Evich?
E-V-I-T-C-H. Genton, J-E-N-T-O-N. And, well, quite frankly, I think he's a bastard.
Aside from him taking your job, or why? What gives you that impression?
I don't know. Well, yeah, he took my job. I guess I can't really see anything other than that. Anybody who's going to come take my job is not going to see my happy side.
What's his rank within the Empire?
Well, as a governor, he looks over a particular system, and he is directly under what we call a Moff, or what the Empire calls a Moff. And a Moff looks over various regions of the galaxy, a number of different sectors, and they have their authority over a number of planets. So the governor looks up to one of these Moffs. I don't know who the Moff is. I just know this asshole.
Did they not sit you down and explain why they wanted you gone, try to play ball with you, or they just threw you away?
Right. You'd think that they would have given me the respect and the courtesy after 15 years of preparing, from their point of view, of preparing their planet for Imperial control. You'd think that they'd sit me down and actually talk to me, maybe negotiate, maybe find another role for me here. No. They say, "You're no longer needed." Get out.
It's not very smart of them.
No, it's not. And she gives a knowing look to Creighton.
And I turn to Talon Crichton and I say, just ignoring her and kind of say, I feel like it would have been smarter for them to try to get her to play ball than to just throw her out. As soon as the townspeople find out, or the people of the city find out that they threw her out.
What are they going to do if they're being muscled? If we're being muscled, it's not like we have a lot of choice. It sounds like the actions of a tyrant, not a thoughtful.
Yeah, but how many troops? And I turn to her and I say, how many troops does he have?
About 60.
60 men.
60 men, and he's got a crew of pilots and different people. I don't know how they all fit on that shuttle, but they did.
Any combat droids?
No droids. No, just they've got a few medical droids that they've installed in the, well, so I hear they're installing in the hospital. Other than that, no, nothing combat oriented, just the stormtroopers. God, you should have seen the size of the stormtrooper that kicked me out. He was massive.
Aren't they all the same size?
No, no, not all of them. Not this guy. He must have been a mutant or something. And she takes a swig of her tea. You can smell alcohol on her
So
breath.
you're telling me they're not talking to you at all? They've kicked you out. They don't want to have any relation with the locals here. They're just taking over. They don't want anything.
Well, she looks at, as you say that, she turns to Tark, and she gives him a stern look, and she says, well, your father's been getting awfully friendly with him.
My father.
Yeah. Reem? Or
Yeah.
Rem?
Rem.
How do you pronounce it? Rem. Yeah. I don't know. They seem all buddy-buddy. He wasn't kicked out of his position at the hospital, even though some of those droids probably outskill him.
Whoa, that's not very... no one's really out...
No offense to Rem. Actually, no. Offense to Rem. He's not the best surgeon in the universe. Droids powered by the Empire who have endless credits have access to droids that have more precision than any human.
And I walk over to Tal and I say, you keep talking to her. And then I turn to Crichton as well and say, I'm going to go speak with my father. I didn't realize he was mixed up in this. And I go to leave. And I stop at the door and turn around and I say to her, and no, he is the most skilled surgeon. Believe me, I'd like to believe that a droid could do better, but they can't. And
At least it took a droid to replace him. It couldn't even be... not even a droid replaced her as leader. So I
Yeah,
said...
they know. Yeah.
So
Mine was a better bird.
I know. What did you put in this tea? What's in this? It's a little early for this. My head's not working.
So Tark leaves.
If only I had this queued up in time.
Wah, wah. Hey, that's the Chris button.
Yeah.
So
Hey,
Tark
if you
walks
can't
out
hit
the door.
any if you don't swing, so...
No, it's true. Yeah, I walk out the door.
All right,
Okay.
and
So I
Crichton,
resume?
the talent, she looks to you guys and says, Crichton, I talked to you less than 5 hours ago. What? Is there anything else?
Well, now that you mention it, is there any way that we can get into contact with this leader? Do you know any? Do you still have any connections that can help us out?
You mean the leader of the rebellion?
No.
Oh, you're talking about the governor,
Yeah.
Jenton. Well, you could just waltz up to his door and talk to him. You know where he is. He's in the beak lookout.
And what about for surveillance of the town? What happened to our guards? Are they out of commission as well?
No, guards are still on board. They're still on duty because, quite frankly, the Empire thinks that they can. I get the feeling he thinks that he can recruit them.
And how
I'll be
many?
honest, I wasn't terribly friendly towards Jenton when he walked into my office unannounced, so maybe that had part of it.
And how
No.
loyal are our troops still? Are they still pretty loyal to Baric?
Well, what do you think?
Well, it seems that way. All the ones I know are good men.
No?
Perhaps
They're
I'll
like
go
you.
talk to them in a bit.
They're raised on the same values.
So how do you know this Addo guy? Otto.
Otto.
Like, how are you
Well-
connected with him?
like I said, I was talking on my comlink one time, and I heard a strange voice that I did not recognize. And the voice, he said that he asked who I was, and I told him because I've got nothing to hide. It wasn't a voice I ever recognized. I've never even met an Ithorian, but he told me that if he could trust me, that he was part of the rebellion, and that they were on their way, and he was ordered to contact the head of Ebra.
And what does he intend to do when he gets here?
Well, I think they were planning on making a base. They didn't give me too much information just in case it fell into the wrong hands.
So you're saying we could have all-out battles and war here?
And she looks back to Courtney and Sill's room, and she slowly nods.
Damn it! Don't you think that's important information to let me know?
I figured you would have put two and two together.
I had no knowledge that they were coming. So
the rebellion is coming to, I think, put a base on this planet, and probably make it one of their main bases. I don't know exactly. I just spoke to the guy and said to be ready to have diplomatic talks. That's it. I don't know what they're packing.
Well, we need as much information about that as possible. They could be here any moment, and we could have an all-out. We're not prepared. People need to be evacuated if that's the case. Get me the contact information. I need to speak to this person.
I'll give you the contact information.
What's his name again?
Otto.
Can you... I just have one question. What would an Empire-run Ebra look like?
Well, Ebra has, I don't know if you guys knew this, but Ebra has a particular resource called Lu Ramen, which apparently it's very rich. And by very rich, I mean the ground is teeming with it. I think the Ebranites have some sort of connection. If the Empire were to control us, then things might go on as usual, or they might use us as slaves. It's been done before. And I don't know about you, Tal, but I don't want to be a slave. I'm not going into those mines. I'm not going under the ground into these caves and harvesting for them. Maybe if that's up your alley, fine, but not me.
Well, either way, we need to be ready just in case the fight's coming. We need to spread the word that it might be, and we need to be preparing the people of Baric. Get me in contact with Otto, and we'll see what other information we can scrounge up.
Okay, I'll give you his comlink information, and she does. However, people do that.
You still, and I tell her, I explained to her that she needs to get in contact with the sway she still has in the town, and tell people to be ready and be careful and be ready to leave if we need to evacuate at a moment's notice.
That's not a bad idea. I will start spreading the word. I'm not going to say anything about a rebellion, and you don't say anything about the rebellion either, because if the Empire hears that word coming out of your lips, then there's a good chance that you will either be put into the holding cell or you'll be outright killed.
Yeah, then you better make sure you're quiet about it.
Yeah.
Do we have anything to scan for any more Imperial ships possibly coming in?
No. Everything is up in the observation deck, or in the guards' quarters. That's where you'd find it.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Get out of here, guys. I gotta eat my
walk
breakfast.
into the hospital.
You walk into the hospital, Tark.
Where is he?
And immediately you are.
No, I just walked very quietly into the hospital.
Okay, so you are welcomed. You're welcomed by a droid, and he's in a very calm voice. He says, "Hello, sir. How may I be of assistance to you?"
Do I know him? Has he been there for a long
Nope,
time?
never recognized this droid. Looks brand spanking new.
Okay. I'm looking for Dr. Slayton.
Dr. Slayton? And do you have authorization to speak with the head surgeon?
Yes, he's my father.
Would I be able to see some identification, please?
Yeah. And I pull out identification and I show it.
Tark Slayton. Match. All right. Here you go. You are welcome to enter the hospital. Enjoy your stay.
And I walk in. And I flip it off from the back. It means nothing in Star Wars. I give it a double flippy. And I go to his office or to someone's desk I recognize, and I...
Okay. So walking around the hospital, it's a pretty quiet day. Some of the nurses nod to you, and some of them stop you in the hall and say, "Oh my goodness, it's been so long, and I've got to get back to work. Oh, good seeing you." Blah blah blah.
No, of course, I understand.
And,
Is my father in? Do you know?
last time I saw him, he was heading up to the governor's office. Weird. So
The governor has an office in the hospital.
Well, actually, he has taken over Ridley's office.
And that's
Up
in
in
the
the
hospital.
The pathway leads past the hospital and then curves up into the left
Oh, I see.
and goes around to the...
I go to his office anyway, I suppose.
Okay. So you go to his office and it is locked.
Hmm.
And there is a computer console on the side that you could try to hack into or keep going.
Is there like a nurse's station or a nurse's desk?
Yep, there would be.
Then I go, and do I recognize the person at the desk?
It's actually another robot,
Mm.
another droid. And he says, "Are you in need of assistance, sir?"
Yeah, I'm looking to speak with Dr. Slayton.
Dr. Slayton is busy. Can I take a message?
I'd like to make an appointment then.
Yes. Our next availability is next week.
Yeah, I figured. No, that's all right then, thanks. And I walk away.
Very well. Okay. So you can make your way up to the office. That's totally fine.
To the governor's office.
Yep, you can. It's easy access up there. It'll probably be guarded, but if your father's in there, then there's a chance that won't really matter.
Yeah, I will head up then. I've already given my ID, so them knowing I'm here is compromised anyway. So sure, I'm gonna head up to the governor's office.
All right. So you make your way down the well-lit, very sterile hallway, and curve up down a slightly darker, more luscious hallway, lavish, and luscious. And you make your way up to the front door of Jenton's office, Governor Jenton's office, and there are two stormtroopers standing there. And one of them says, "Halt! What's your business?"
I'm looking to speak with Dr. Slayton.
Dr. Slayton's in a meeting with the governor. You'll have to make an appointment with the droid downstairs.
I did, but Dr. Slayton told me to see him immediately upon my return.
Do you have a signed note from that?
No, it was delivered to me via hologram.
Well, I would need some proof.
I'm his son, if that makes any difference.
You are Mr. Slayton's son.
Dr. Slayton's, yes.
You think I'm going to fall for that?
And I
Seriously?
pull up my ID. Said, look, I'm not here to burn your britches, guys. I just want to speak to the man who requested my presence as soon as possible, the chief medical officer of this facility.
So the stormtrooper leans over to the other stormtrooper, and they both take a look at it. And with the clanking of his plastic-sounding armor, he hands it back to you and says, "Well, that's all fair and good, but you are going to have to wait for an appointment, just like everybody else."
All right, look, guys. I have nothing against you guys being here. I'm a scout. I've been on a scouting mission for the past year. I've been out in the barren bullshit wastelands of this planet. The first thing I was told to come back was to speak to the chief doctor at the hospital, my father, as well as most likely to introduce me to the governor. So at the very least, could you at least ask if they would like to see me? If not, I will make an appointment or leave. But at least see if they want to, because otherwise, the first thing I'm going to say when the governor and my father say, well, why the hell didn't you come into this meeting, is 2 stormtroopers refused to let me pass.
And you share a moment of silence, and the talking stormtrooper turns and looks to the other stormtrooper. And I want you to do a negotiations roll.
I really should have put points in negotiation.
It comes up a lot, man.
Can I cool them to death?
You can't cool them to death.
All right.
Can you coerce him?
You can coerce.
It's the
Coercing.
same.
Is it?
No, coercion is
Sure.
worse. Well, see, that's the thing, because oh no, I can't leadership. Negotiate.
You can
Perception.
spend a destiny point to upgrade,
Yeah, let's do that.
or you can spend a destiny point for, they call it Deus Ex. You can use it for something really great to happen.
No, I'm going to use it. I'm going to upgrade.
Okay.
At this point, I don't know if we want something great to happen. And so I'm rolling those 2, and I'm assuming it's 2 purple.
Yep. It's going to be 2 purple, and I will give you a boost because you've given a good argument.
Okay. 2 hits.
All right. So that's a success. So the 2 stormtroopers exchange a look, and the head one turns around and opens the door slightly. And you hear some murmuring, and after a delay, the stormtrooper steps back and says, "My mistake, sir. Head on in."
And I kind of say, not in a dick way, just kind of be like, see, you saved us all a lot of trouble, like, because otherwise it would have been your ass, not mine. And I'm kind of like, thank you. And I stop. Before I go in, I turn to them. I say, look, I got to say, you guys have this ominous presence, and I understand that. But y'all kind of look the same. Sorry, what's your name?
While I'm on duty, I don't have a name, sir.
And I turn to the quiet one. The same goes for you.
Yes, of course.
Wonderful. Then I guess I won't know who to tell the governor to congratulate on their excellent duty. But I suppose...
you can tell him that.
No, it's all right. And I walk inside.
Nice. All right. So you walk inside and you see the room. This isn't the first time you've been in here. When you were being sent to the outpost, you were in here. Basically, there is a long window that goes along. It's curved in the back. Long window that you know has metallic plates that can shutter up or shutter down. There is a desk in the middle of the room where you see your father sitting on one side, and then sitting in the mayor's chair is a thin, regular-looking man with slicked back, black hair, clean-shaven. And also looking around the room, you see a number of boxes that are covered in white drapes, haven't been unpacked yet. And there is one large square or rectangular item that you don't know what it is, but it is. It's there. It's definitely not like a box or a crate that he hasn't unpacked yet. It's something different.
Okay, I'm going to, as I'm walking through the door, I'm going to flip on my communicator, which I have connected to Dina at the very least. I'm going to walk over to my father and greet him as a son would his father, a handshake and maybe a hug. And while I'm doing that, though, I'm going to do a perception roll.
Okay.
Savvy? 2 difficulty,
Yep.
I'll assume?
Yep. 2 difficulty.
So we got 2 disadvantages, a success, and what is that symbol again?
That's the triumph.
And a triumph.
So you succeeded, but you had 2 threats.
And a triumph. Don't forget the triumph.
Oh yes, the triumph counts as a success, but in this
Oh.
case, it could be something very good. So, looking around, as you do the perception check, you scan the room. The only real object of interest is that large looming structure, and you actually have a good idea of what it is.
Yeah.
It is. You've heard of this before. You've seen it. You've never seen it in the hospital, but just a corner of it is showing, and it looks like carbonite.
Interesting.
An encasement of carbonite.
Okay, so I'll walk over and I'll greet my father and I'll give him a hug.
Yes, and he stands up, and he actually, as you go to hug him, he holds out his hand and says, "Son."
Well, one of these, like a handshake, slap on the back type thing.
He hasn't seen you in a long time, and he just gives you the handshake.
Really?
Really,
It seems
really.
very unlike my father.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, and I'll say, okay, fine. And I'll shake his hand, and I'll turn to the man behind the desk, and I'll say, Governor Jensen, it's a pleasure to meet you, and I extend my hand as well.
And he takes it without hesitation, grasps it with both hands, and says, "Ah, I've heard about you. Young Tark is your name, correct?"
Correct.
And he looks like he's maybe 5 years older than you, not much older.
Mm.
And he says, "It's a pleasure. Please, take a seat."
And I said, well, I don't wish to intrude.
"Oh, no, you're not intruding. In fact, we were just discussing you."
And I make a look to my father to make sure that he's okay with this. Like,
And
I'm okay to stay.
Yeah, your father is giving you an encouraging nod. Like, if you know what's good for you, you will sit.
Okay. All right. And I'll sit down.
All right. So you sit down, and Evich begins talking. He says, "Well, your father and I were just discussing the landscape. As you are aware, I am new here. I am your new governor, and I would like to get to know the place as quickly as possible. And as your father was just telling me, he says that you are normally on patrol in the outpost, and you and a couple of your other friends are probably the most knowledgeable about the landscape and the surroundings of the greater Baric region. Is this correct?"
I would say that would be a fair assumption, yeah.
Now, it is absolutely marvelous that you are here, by the way. I think that is such a great coincidence. Why is it that you made your way here?
Oh, well, we had a year tour of duty and decided to come back and put up roots again before being sent back out.
And you had no awareness of the recent blessing on your planet.
The recent blessing?
Well, yes, the Imperial representation. You've been selected.
Oh, yeah. No, that was a surprise. We came back truthfully unaware of it, and at first a little bit apprehensive, more so because we weren't aware it was the Empire. But once we were greeted warmly by your staff, we found it to be a welcome change.
Well, I definitely understand. Now, an order of business. I have received some information about your planet, and part of the reason why we are here is that, based on our probe droid findings, we know now that there is a large source of Lu ramen, a very valuable resource to the Empire and used to help heal people, and you probably have used it down in the hospital, maybe without even knowing it. All med packs that are Imperial issue use Lu ramen as part of the healing agent.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Well, your planet, based on the soil readings, is rich with it.
Very good.
Completely rich. And I, as a representative of the Empire, would like to tap into that resource.
Well, so long as it's prosperous for all parties involved, I'm sure there's no issue.
Oh, it will definitely be prosperous. Now, we're getting close to the end. Do you guys want to keep going, or should we wrap it up?
I'd say wrap it up. So long as it's not, mid cliffhanger.
Okay. Creighton, Tal?
Yes, I agree. Wrap up leave us on a good note.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, if this is a very long conversation, then you can cut away to something else, and then we can just end it there.
All right. I'm going to cut away to Creighton and
But
Tal.
he has to say something badass right before you cut away. He's got to say something like,
By the way, the
Yes,
person in the crate is your mother.
There is much prosperity to be had, and if you help me tap into it, then I'll make sure that when we're done working together, that you leave this planet a wealthy, wealthy man. Creighton and Tal, where did you guys decide to go?
Where did we? That was so long ago.
Tal is muted right now.
I said shit.
Yeah. Sorry if that was a long one, guys.
That's okay.
No, it's good.
Well, I thought we'd communicate with Otto, and also talk to the leader of the guards.
Okay. So I'll run through those very quickly. Otto, you try to reach him, and he can't be reached.
Okay, then I will go to the guy we talked to who was on top of the wall last night.
Yeah.
Okay. Len. So you speak with Len, and he's right in front of you right now. What do you say?
Len, how are you doing? Oh, sorry.
No, that's fine.
I'm great, Tal. Great. Are you here to relieve me of my duty?
No, unfortunately not. You gotta stay. I'm just wondering if you can tell Creighton and I if how the last couple of days have been.
Well, they've been fine. They've been fine. The Imperials came in last night, and they've boosted our walls. We only have 2 people from Baric manning the walls now, and we've got 2 stormtroopers instead of the regular force. So we get a lot more time off, and we're actually getting paid double. Can you believe that?
Oh. No, I can't.
So you're telling me
absolutely amazing.
they're basically replacing you guys and paying you for not working?
Pretty much. No. They're paying us double for working. We're getting paid. We're earning the same amount of money, but we're working half as much. It's amazing. And then I can supplement the other half of my income in the mines.
And are they moving into basically the strongholds and stuff like that? They have complete access to our armaments and everything.
Well, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't they? I mean, they're helping.
Do we have control of anything anymore? Exclusive control?
I don't know. I wouldn't know. You'd have to speak to the mayor about that.
Oh.
I'm just a private.
Well, in that case, I hope you take care. If there's anything that's weird that you come across, when the other troopers are around, don't hesitate to come let me know. Okay?
Yeah, of course, Creighton. I'll find you.
Okay. The next thing, yeah.
So is there anything else you guys want to do?
Eventually, I mean, I want to talk to Tark, see what's happening at the medical center. But aside from that, not really.
Okay. So we are going to... Tal, was there anything else you want to do?
No, I was just going to say, nice tapping to you, Len. Grab a drink soon.
We're going to find your uncle, Tal.
Yeah, we do. I'm starting to think that now's the time to start looking for him, because I was anxious. I was anxious to talk with him, but I think it's the time.
All right. So you guys go to the mechanics?
Yep.
All right. So you make your way to Tal's uncle's place, Mulder's, and you enter in the key code.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you make your way inside. And the shop is just as you remember it. Smells like oil, but very comfortable smell for you. It's nostalgic. And there are tools hanging on cables from the ceiling. The dugout where he would go to work on land speeders underneath. is there. There's no ship inside. It's dark. You have to flick on the light, and the lights flicker on.
Okay, what do we see?
So, not much. Just a regular shop. There is a hangar bay door open on or closed on the ceiling, and then there's a regular garage door on the front next to the door that you guys just walked in.
Yeah.
There are several workbenches, and there are 2 lockers, one of which you know is your own, Tal, and one of which is your uncle's.
Okay. I go take some of my stuff, put it in my locker.
Okay. So, as you go to open your locker, a piece of paper falls onto the ground, and you barely see it, but you catch it last second.
Read it.
I read it. Sorry.
Reading it,
I throw it away. No, I read it.
it looks fresh, and hastily written are some coordinates.
Coordinates. Okay. I take them, and can I plug them into my scanner? Or does that mean anything?
You can do that. So you take it and you start to put it into your scanner.
Put it in my scanner.
When Creighton, you sense something. And you turn around just in time to see a large shadow looming in the front door. And you hear a booming voice. The large figure is wearing, you see he's wearing Imperial Stormtrooper outfit. And in a booming voice, he says, "Well, what have we here? Looks like we found our molder." And we're going to end it there.
See, sometimes I'm good with sound effect times. Excellent. Well, thank you so much to our lovely Justin for this fantastic game. It was always a pleasure to dive into the world of his mind. Thank you all so much for bearing with us through our technical difficulties. Hopefully they will be sorted out next week. But more importantly, thank you for just being here with us and coughing along with us. No, thank you for being here. You guys make it so fun. The communication tonight on the board was hilarious. Make sure you stay tuned for Mission 2, which is going to be posted tomorrow, as well as try your hand at the most valuable post this week by posting some really interesting backstories, as well as spending that experience points to help influence the mission. Other than that, that is all from me. I hope you guys had a wonderful night. Let's give it up one more time for Justin. Have a wonderful night, guys. Thank you so much. And as Chris always says,
see you around the table.
See you around the table, guys. Good night. It's on you, Justin.